The following program is an MLWRadio.com production.
It's Christmas time.
It is indeed, and that means a lot of our listeners are probably trying to figure out, hey man, where can I get a really nice gift at an affordable price? If you're looking for something for the lady in your life, man, $8.com is the place to be. Bruce, have you checked out $8.com yet?
As a matter of fact, I have, but I'm a little bit confused. How much is the stuff over there at $8.com?
It's $8. That's right, $8. So this is the perfect place to get all of your Christmas shopping done for the women in your life. And I'm talking to you. You know who you are. You're wondering, what am I going to get my sister? What am I going to get the ladies at the office? What am I going to get my aunts? What am I going to get my cousins? This gets expensive. Well, not at $8.com. You can get high quality gifts at a very affordable price. They like to call it affordable elegance. They've got a ton of stuff on the site, lots of different colors, and it's just $8. We're talking about stunning hoop earrings, elegant stud earrings, an infinity double circle necklace, a cross infinity statement ring, all kinds of bangle bracelets and stacker jewelry. It's everything you need to look like you spent a fortune, but it's our secret. You only spent $8. $8.com, Bruce.
But here's the scary thing is my daughter's already been on the site and she's picked out basically every pair of earrings on this site.
Well, you're in luck because everything is $8. This doesn't get any easier than this. Give a great gift, look like you spent a fortune, and it's our secret. You only spent $8 at $8.com. That's the number $8.com.
This is too easy.
$8.com.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the MLW Event Center. I'm Sean Mooney, and you've heard all the buzz. Now experience MLW Never Say Never on demand. See a wild encounter between John Morrison, Shane Strickland, Jimmy Havoc, and Darby Allin. Watch Filthy Tom Lawler throw down with Matt Riddle, the controversial debut of Stokely Hathaway, and the return of Tony Schiavone and Rich Bikini in the broadcast booth. Download or stream MLW Never Say Never now for just $4.99 at MLW TV. Meanwhile, over at MLWRadio.com, what happened when the Black Scorpion plagued WCW in 1990? Find out as Tony Schiavone looks back at Starrcade 1990. This week on Lucha Talk, the Trio Talk CMLL, big changes in The Crash with the group saying adios to Conan and more. MLW Radio's flagship show has MSL and Rich Bikini talking WWE and going in-depth behind the scenes on this week's MLW show. Also, don't you dare miss Primetime with Sean Mooney. This week, the Birdman Coco Beware stops in and talks about fighting with Frankie, fists flying in Europe, and soaring to the top of the WWF. And again, don't miss the hottest wrestling show this month. Go to MLW TV and stream or download MLW Never Say Never. You won't regret it. Now it's time to get back to your favorite MLW Radio podcast.
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett for Starrcade, 605 NWA. TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede. Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Team. Turner, Bodden, Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off center stage, Bischoff, Disney, Hogan, and Nitro. New World Order and the Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules, cat back. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zigg's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chair. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when?
WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? Monday on the MLW Radio Network right here at WHWMonday.com. And the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, Mr. Tony Schiavone. Tony, how's it going?
Conrad, how are you? Hey, hello, Slapdicks. And I know what happened on December 29th, 1991.
You do?
Yes. shit.
Well, we're going to have a good time today with an interesting pay-per-view. Starrcade 1991. And, you know, we could filibuster here, but I say we just get right into it. What do you
Get right
think?
into it because I've watched it and I'm thinking to myself, when I watched it, to take a spoon and jab it up my ass, I'd feel much better.
Well, there you
Well,
go.
don't do it. But
Yeah.
that's what I was feeling at that time.
Let's not actually jab it up your ass.
No.
Now, I feel like I should remind everybody that
Okay.
we're going to go ahead and have a little help from our friends and counting you down as to when to press play. But I want you to make sure you're watching along with the WWE Network the same way we are. So when I say press play, I will have already watched the commercial and the whole TV PG thing, and then the show will load. And so at that point, when we say we're good to go, we're good to go. And you're going to go ahead and press play at that minute. Tony, is it time for us to go to our 6-man tag team partner?
Let's go to our tag team partner, see how she's doing today.
3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Play.
Thanks, honey. Get them boobs up off your knees for a change. Gee whiz. Abdullah the Butcher, Terrence Taylor, Rabbit Sheep Rick Rude, Cactus Jack, Arn Anderson, Beautiful Bobby, Diamond Stud Oz. All these guys are in this event that suck. Can you imagine having all this talent at your disposal and putting an event like BattleBowl, the Lethal Lottery, up for grabs?
Well, I'll tell you, it's sort of interesting because in hindsight, I think we all know how we feel about this. Look at all that pyro.
Wow.
How much money do you think that costs?
Wow, 10 grand.
They want your raise. They want your vacation.
Exactly.
They want your royalties for video games.
Exactly.
Who tucks in a Magnum TA t-shirt? Look at that guy.
Well, I don't know. Oh, these are two handsome guys here. Jim Ross, JR on your right. He always had some color, a little pocket wedge. And me, Tony Schiavone, just getting ready to bust out of a tuxedo that no longer fits me. And that also, as you can tell, my hair was a little blonde there, Conrad. So I had a little blonde look about
Are you turning heel or are you just using sun in?
just using sun in, sitting by the pool in East Cobb, enjoying life. And also getting ready to, I was hoping at this time, enjoy a big event. But was I fucking wrong?
It's an interesting time here in WCW, and this era, Jim Ross is my favorite Jim Ross, but boy, you guys have your fucking work cut out for you here. Do you know it?
Yeah, we really do, because we're going to go to an event. Now let's go up to Eric Bischoff. Thank you very much, Tony Schiavone. And now we have to my left, Missy Hyde, who looks wonderful. And of course, one of the legends, Magnum TA. At this time, Magnum TA, Conrad, was the assistant booker for the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
So he's responsible for some of this shit we're going to see today.
He's involved in some of this shit. There's no question about it. And now let's go to the boys for our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see how shitty this will be? Doesn't that look like a bunch of fucking choir boys standing there?
Oh my God.
Who came up with this shit? Okay.
It does feel like you guys are in 8th grade choir. And how about Arachnaman front and center? Does that not tell the story of what we're about to see?
That certainly does. Let me also say this, and you guys are not going to believe this. Magnum TA is the commissioner. Missy Hyde is there too.
How about the name over the graphic?
Yeah, I know.
What a clusterfuck that was.
Missy Hyatt is opening the envelopes.
He's having to do all of this with one hand with no help from her, by the way.
Exactly. And Eric Bischoff is reading the combatants. Now, just to smarten you up on this, it's not going to get any better than this. Magnum will say nothing the entire broadcast. Missy will say nothing the entire broadcast. So let's bring in the first fat ass. Oh, there's Michael PSA. Sorry. And he's coming to the ring. And here is one of the true legends of independent wrestling. And he is still running his mouth, I understand, in Tracy Smothers.
Yeah, two of my all-time favorites in the ring so far, and now one of your favorites.
Oh, man. Marcus Alexander Bagwell from Sprayberry High School. And here he comes, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. My God, Conrad, they are going to be on opposite teams. Who would have thought?
Here's
that we
what I
picked
don't
that?
understand about wrestling. Like, what was it about guys like Jimmy Garvin just did it right there? When you come to the ring, you have to act like you're fired up, but it's so fake and artificial. You're like clapping your hands and talking to yourself and pointing.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like you're fucking Rain Man, does it not?
Yeah, I you know how I feel about talking to the camera and that bullshit. Now, right now, the fans are pretty much into this, as you can see. First match of the night. They haven't been worn down by life yet. Okay. Wait 2 hours into this fucker and it'll change.
Why is the cameraman who's on the apron right now wearing shorts? Did you see that?
I didn't notice that.
Is it just me, or is Jimmy Jam Garvin here? Does he look like an exterminator?
Oh, I guess he does. By the way, that's Jackie Crockett.
Well, that's what I was hoping you were going to tell
Yeah.
us, but it feels like somebody should have told Jackie that maybe he should wear shorts. He looks like Francis from Pee Wee Herman. Does he not?
He does. I know you are, but what am I? By the way, we'd like to welcome to our broadcast and welcome to Starrcade. I noticed down at the front row, Bruce Pritchard was here, down in the green shirt down in the front row there. I did notice Bruce was here. Bruce, good to see you. I know you're probably a spy for Vince at this time, but there's Bruce, as you can see.
Bruce was fired here.
Oh, he was?
Yeah,
With
Bruce
his arms
was probably begging for a job.
Okay, and off to Bruce's right is Jake the Snake Roberts, as you can see, chewing gum right now with the mustache on and a little bit of hairpiece coming in on top. So there's Jake talking to somebody in a hat to your right, eating popcorn, and Bruce is looking to see if someone to his left will hire him. But that is not the case right now. So we have an all-star guest lineup here, and we're at the Norfolk Scope Coliseum, which, by the way, fans don't realize, Norfolk was a great town for, how do I say this?
Vagina.
No. Was a great
Penis.
town. Was a great town for being picked up at the airport.
Okay.
Okay. There was always a bunch of girls that picked the guys up at the airport, and I always hopped in with the ride. So that's all I'm going to say. I know what you want me to say.
What?
No, you want me to use the R word, and I'm not, because they were nice girls. A arm drag takedown.
What, wrestling? RASSLIN, that's wrestling.
Fans are really into this already. We are off and rolling. Now, remember here, Conrad, the winning team will put its 2 members into BattleBowl. Okay? And here are the rules. Throw the guy into the second ring, and then we'll have 1 guy in each ring at the end of the night, and those 2 will wrestle, and the winner will be the very first BattleBowl champion. You may wonder, and I was wondering this throughout this entire broadcast, and when I rewatched it, I was as well. Why in the fucking world would we have something like this at our premier event, right? The granddaddy of them all.
Yeah, and the fans go mild.
Yes.
You know, one of the things that I found interesting about this is the production. Like, I like this camera angle, but is it not crooked? I mean, Vince would never air this way, I don't think.
I mean, if we're watching, you can see the top of the television set here on the high shot, and it looks like the ring rope goes downhill, down to the left.
Of course, we're going to poke a lot of holes in this show. As you mentioned, December 29th, 1991. It's the very first BattleBowl, the Lethal Lottery, and it's at the Norfolk Scope, where you guys in the Mid-Atlantic days, I mean, you were drawing some of your best houses here, right?
One of our best. This in Jacksonville, and of course Charlotte, many of the Carolinas. But outside of the Carolinas, the Norfolk Scope and Jacksonville were our 2 hottest venues.
So it's a really big deal here. And the concept, at least in theory, was a draw. It drew 9,000 folks. By comparison, the Starrcade we covered last week in St. Louis only drew 7,200 folks. And it did a 1.2 buy rate. So you're talking $3.7 million gross, which at this time is a record for a WCW pay-per-view show. That crowd of 9,000 folks paid $92,000. About 7,600 of those were paid tickets. The other 1,400 were comps. But this is the largest live gate for all of 1991 for WCW. So we're going to shit all over this. But if the old adage of, hey, we're here to draw money and all that matters is the money and the miles, Dusty hit a home run here in that regard.
Well, he did. But listen, Dusty had his hand forced here by Jim Herd. And I say that because, we talked about the idea of the Black Scorpion a week ago. And Jim Herd said to Ole at that time, now you get it. Dusty was forced to do something out of the ordinary here. And this is what he came up with. And I'll give him credit for trying to rack his brain and sit down, what else could I come up with? If it wasn't the Jim Herd era, we would have just had another great event. And maybe a much better event. But this is something that was forced on Dusty by Jim Herd. I want something different. Goddamn it, I want something that's unique. Well, this is what we came up with. So there. So I'm blaming Jim Herd for this shit.
There's rumor and innuendo here that the drawings and the pairings here were not worked.
Really?
that they were a real shoot, and the guys were just as surprised for the pairings as the announcers were and the crowd was, and they just called everything in the ring, and they were given time cues. That doesn't make any sense to me.
No.
I want to call bullshit on this.
Yeah, I'm going to call bullshit on that too. I think that came from the fact that when you look in the back, the guys look surprised because they actually couldn't hear what the actual when their name was called.
Right.
So that's the surprise look that we got, making people think this was actually a shoot. But if you start out with the Freebirds across the ring from each other,
that's not. I mean, come on.
No, that's right.
I feel like I should mention here too that attendance here. You know, I know we're just acting like 9,000 is no big deal, but really and truly, this is a monumental deal for WCW. Their average attendance for house shows in '91 was 1,220. They were up to 2,060 in July, 1,820 in August, 1,220 in September, 1,490 in October. The month prior to this, in November, you guys were averaging 1,130 fans. And then in this same month of December, you're only doing 2,040 on average. So to get 9,000 in the building has to feel like a fucking home run, does it not?
Well, it does. And there's a reason that it was a home run. This was Starrcade. This was our big event. We had been in St. Louis the year before. We had been in Chicago with the event. We had obviously been in Atlanta and in Greensboro. And this was your regular, historic WCW, NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions event in the Jim Crockett territory. So I had a feeling we'd do good business here. We did anything less than that, it would have been a big failure.
Well, you guys were in a bad spot here financially. You know, in 1991, I think WCW lost something like $8 million. And the prior year in 90, they lost around $6 million. So losing money in WCW, I guess, was sort of what you guys had always done from 89, 90, 91. How do you think the temperament was amongst the office? Were you feeling okay? I mean, you've told us before that you regretted your decision right away, but did you feel like the company was in imminent danger of closing based on poor house show attendance and the financial losses that you guys had to be talking about in the office?
Yeah, I thought, I brought this up, I think, before. I thought there was not a day that went by where I didn't think as the old cliche goes, that the sheriff was going to come on and padlock our doors.
And it's interesting because this isn't happening necessarily at a time when wrestling is just on a downswing, because just about a week after this, there's going to be a Tokyo Egg Dome show on January 4th that draws around 60,000 people. And there's some WCW talent on that show as well, because you guys are obviously trying to do some talent exchanges here. But it's got to be sort of a what's going on with us, or why are we different? Is this the worst fucking armbar you've ever seen from Bagwell?
It's freaking terrible. And of course, Marcus is very young here, very green. And this is really before the power plant began. So he's learning his craft as he goes.
And he could teach you a few things over at cowboysforangels.com.
I bet he could.
What's the origin of the Battle Bowl idea? I mean, do you remember?
Yeah, it's Dusty trying to come up with something new and inventive based on what Herd wanted.
But I guess my question is there something he drew from? Do you remember? Because a lot of things that Dusty did, you could see like Starrcade was a cartoon on the weekends, and then he just added a second R and made that a thing. And so there's always some sort of motivation behind one of the ideas. Like he's inspired by something.
Well, he's inspired by bowl games.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And he's inspired by the fact that the winner gets a ring.
There you go. That's what I was going for.
Right.
I've heard for a long time that Dusty really thought that professional athletes getting a World Series ring or a Super Bowl ring or just a championship ring of sorts, even for a bowl game in college athletics, may signify that they were a real champion. And I find it funny that all these years later, I don't even know that you know this, but Ring of Honor actually uses a ring, and the first person to get the ring is Cody Rhodes.
Wow. How about that?
How about that?
Isn't that something? Well, good for Cody, and God bless the Rhodes family. Again, Dusty was, I do notice, look at ringside, across the way on ringside, George Gray's here, the one-man gang there you see him with the suspenders on. As we continue with the all-star people that we have coming to this event, Jake the Snake Roberts, Bruce Pritchard, and now George Gray. Congratulations to all you guys for being here.
More talent on the other side of the guardrail right now.
Some of them would see that. Look,
Is this the dream match that nobody ever wanted to see? Jimmy Garvin and Michael Hayes.
yeah, and they're making it. They're showing you why no one wanted to see it, because they're doing not a fucking thing.
Well, here's what I thought that these guys did really well. 3 out of the 4 of these guys are like the classic Southern wrestler, where they're going to go to the crowd. They're looking for crowd reactions. Everything they do is not for the camera. It's all for the crowd.
Yep.
And so they're okay with working slow and working with the big dramatic moves and just trying to lots of hot dogging. That's what gets over in Southern wrestling historically, right?
Yeah, that it does. They're also got a little bit longer in the ring than they're accustomed to, right?
Sure.
So they're wasting time, and I understand that. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, Southern wrestling, and they're doing that.
If we would have went to an indie show in 1995, anywhere in Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee, this is what we're seeing.
Yeah,
I mean, this is
sure.
That's what it is.
We're seeing bullshit. Exactly.
Well, I mean, you say it's bullshit, but you know, that formula of good guys versus bad guys and trying to get crowd reaction. I mean, that's what they're doing here. And sure, it doesn't age well. Now, you know, these guys are doing fucking 450s and power bombs on the apron. And it's a different sport. But back then it was very much about, I'm going to make these people hate me, boy.
Yeah. You know, I've been talking a lot about the crowd here. You notice the absence of signs.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Like fans aren't trying to get themselves over.
No, and we don't have a bunch of nerds in the front row talking about how the dirt sheets.
4 stars.
We have a guy with his son in the front row. How unique is that now in modern wrestling?
I don't know if it's necessarily that unique, but it is interesting how the crowds have changed. I mean, now fans will go find guys who haven't done anything with wrestling in 15 years and talk them into doing a podcast. You know, and then they'll just dig up a bunch of Dave Meltzer ratings and fuck, what do you know? It's number 1.
That's right.
So.
Dig up my fucking body. Oh, thank you very much. What do you call that? That's not a 5-arm, is it? That's a big 4-arm from Jimmy Garvin. Here comes Marcus Alexander Bagwell from the top. Can he connect? Oh my God. Another flying body press and a hook and a 1 and a 2. Whoa. And Mike Atkins, Groucho Marx calls a 2 count. I was kind of getting fired up into that.
Well, hey, let's keep it going.
Okay. Jimmy, oh my God, he knocked out his partner. He knocked him down. My God, a pickup. And if you take a look at the midsection, P.S. Michael Hayes, expanding as it is, and now they're pissed off. And here comes, off the top, down to the floor, Tracy Smothers, caught by Marcus Bagwell. And he's going for his fisherman suplex, or the perfect plex, or whatever you fucking want to call it. And that is it. What the fuck? Somebody won? Who fucking won? Oh my God, it was us. See you, Michael. Go backstage. Get the fuck out of here. Your winners, Marcus Alexander Bagwell and Jimmy Garvin, gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, or Jimmy Jam Garvin, if you will. Well, the bad news is here, Conrad, it's only going to get worse from here, with the exception of one match.
Look at what is Tracy Smothers doing? He didn't do a move. He fell. Like Tracy Smothers, Lord bless him. Yep. What the fuck is he doing on the top rope?
Well, what happened was he got up on the top rope and his last shot of Jack Daniels kicked in and he fell forward.
I feel like the only time he's been that high is when he's cleaning the gutters.
Yeah. And now look at that smile on Tony Schiavone's face. All right. Well, Schiavone, that's one of a bunch of fucked up matches that we're going to have. Still to come. You don't know. We got the Steiners. They could go up against each other. Let me push that microphone up to my mouth here a little bit, Jimmy, because that's the fucking thing that I always do. Take your hand away from the mic, Schiavone. Okay, I'm going to take my hand away from the mic. As soon as I have someone in the backstage area, tell me what in the fuck we have coming up next, because I don't know. All right, I took my hand away. All right, let's go back to Eric Bischoff and Missy Hyatt and Commissioner Magnum TA.
Did Missy Hyatt go to the Jesse Spano School of Hair here? I feel like she's hooked on caffeine pills, and she's so excited.
Ooh, showed it to Magnum, but of course Magnum can't talk. And now we take a look at the...
his arm doesn't work, not his mouth. What are you talking about? God damn.
Oh, my God. Look at that. Stunning Steve. All right. You're going to go in and who's my partner? Who's my partner here? Let's see. They're just looking down Missy's top is what they're doing.
That's what Magnum's doing.
That's what Magnum's doing. And his partner is going to be, I don't know. Nobody knows. See, here's the part. Oh, it's going to be Rick Rude. So here's the part they didn't really know. And if somebody had to finally come in and tell them, hey, it's you, dumbass, watch the monitor.
Right.
So that was...
Who would have been coming in saying, hey, dumbass?
Probably Mike Graham would have been one of them at that time.
So it's kind of cool because by accident here, seemingly, we've got two guys from the Dangerous Alliance who have drawn their number together here. And these tights here that we see Ravishing Rick Rude wearing, he actually wore at WrestleMania 6 against Jimmy Snuka. How about that?
He did. You know, can I just say something here? And I just realized, Jesus fucking jeez.
Are you ready?
Oh, God. Yeah, baby. Van Hammer and Big Josh. Oh. One of these things can't work. One of these things is not like the other.
Which one of these is not like the other?
Van Hammer being put in this. I'll just bob my head up and down.
Who hired Van Hammer? Jim Hurt?
Yeah, I guess he did. Well, you know, look, it was a pretty good move, wasn't it? Potentially.
Listen, you hire guys at this time, especially in this era, based on potential. And he's tall. He's in great shape. He has a cool look. And if he can learn how to work and talk, then he'll be awesome. And I know a lot of people say, well, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah,
but the WWE hires people that way to this day.
Yeah, if I can quit eating, I can be skinny too.
Well, you take like a Charlotte Flair, for instance, and I know that's maybe a poor example, but she's tall, she's athletic, she has a good look. Hey, if she can learn to talk and work, she'll be okay. It worked out.
How about that?
You know what I mean? It worked out. But Brock Lesnar, same deal.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what Brock Lesnar could do as a professional wrestler.
Exactly.
They know what the amateur thing is, but you hire him based on potential.
Yeah. Not only that, the rock and roll gimmick, I thought for the time, all right, was a pretty good gimmick. Early 90s now. You know, we're just out of the 80s and the big hair, right?
It's just a shame that
he was a shitty worker.
Who's actually worse, do you think? PN News or Van Hammer? Because I always lump those guys together because they're both these over-the-top, ridiculous music gimmicks.
Yeah.
But I would think that PN News maybe got over a little bit more.
Yeah, PN News got over more because PN News actually could rap.
You think that was the difference?
Well, actually, yeah, that was the difference. I like some of the rap stuff that he did. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, 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 PN News here.
Let me run through this. You've got the biggest star in the history of the business right now, wrestling Van fucking Hammer.
And oh, my God. And you wonder why we were almost out of business. God bless Steve Austin's heart. And watch this. Remember, you got to help him up. Did Steve tell him to block it here? Oh, my God, he got him over. And now what does he do? He turns away, and he looks around, and he covers, and he still gets 2 count. Fuck. Don't look around, kid.
You think Van Hammer was getting a bunch of cooter back then?
Oh, my God.
Was he?
Oh, he had to. Take a look at that big, handsome rock star look.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
You were thrown off by me asking that.
I was thrown off by the word.
Hey, let me go ahead and give
I was thrown off by the word cooter.
The folks from Cooter's Place up in Tennessee actually listened to the show, and they sent me a sweatshirt to give you.
Did they?
So I have a Cooter's sweatshirt to give you when you leave here, which is, I guess, what made me think about it subliminally, subconsciously, rather.
Bunch of Cooter. Oh, my God. All right, here comes Ravishing Rick Rude. You know what I just noticed about this? And I do not want to sully the name of Ravishing Rick Rude, but you put a lot of hair on Rick Rude's chest and all over him. You might have Joey Ryan here.
Listen to you. Somewhere Jim Cornette just rolled over.
Sorry, Jim. I'm just talking about the look, the mustache, the look.
Well, I mean,
not the work, not the gimmick.
So what you're saying is that Ravishing Rick Rude had a porn stash,
yes,
and Joey Ryan has a Tom Selleck stash.
Somewhat, yeah. Yeah, so that's enough of that. But
hypothetically, do you think Ravishing Rick Rude ever flipped anybody with his dick?
Do you think anybody in the world except Joey Ryan has done that? No.
Well, I mean, I don't know, brother. That Hulk thermos may have flipped a few people. They flipped a state's witness, that's for sure. What? I'm just saying.
All right. Well, what I'd like to say through
You're
all
really
this,
nervous about getting sued by Hulk Hogan on this show, aren't you?
no, I'm not. I just like to say that we have made BattleBowl much better than it really is.
You saw that documentary where Hulk Hogan will fuck your shit up in court, and now you're like, let's not say anything
I hadn't seen that
about the
documentary.
You didn't?
No, I've seen it, that it's out there, but I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I don't like that shit.
Hey, how did the talent feel about this BattleBowl concept? I imagine, I'm just freestyling, that Rick Rude and Austin were really tickled to be working with Big Josh and Van Hammer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, Big Josh could work. He
worked his ass off.
Yeah.
Matt Bourne's one of the best wrestlers
Yes, he is.
to never get the credit he deserved.
Exactly. I have a feeling Matt Bourne's more pissed off than those other two. He has to team up with Van Hammer. Oh, my goodness. Tag is made.
Now some real work's going to happen.
Absolutely. You know what would have made this whole pay-per-view even worse? Whoa! How about that? Great slam, little log roll coming up here. Why not? That could crack somebody's sternum.
How great is that as a move?
That's pretty good, but that's rude. They hit me in the midsection again. Yeah,
I love this spot. By
I
the
do
way.
too. Absolutely. And Josh comes along with a lariat of his own, a 1-2 and a 2 count. Here's a cover again. 1, 2. Boy, Nick Patrick is really rocking that mullet, isn't he?
Dang, these guys are getting after it.
Yes, they are. Got a good worker in there now. Good bumps.
Man,
and the
the crowd
fans
is
love
into
it.
it.
So does Santa Claus. Oh, and there was Lois's twin brother right next to him. I didn't know this he was there. We'll get a shot of him a little bit later. Man. And now Paulie dangerously. Oh, look. He is shaking his head so back and forth so much he's losing more hair.
Isn't it crazy the amount of talent that's in here right now? You've got
Yes.
Paulie Dangerously, Steve Austin, Rick Rude, Matt Bourne,
Mm-hmm.
Van fucking Hammer.
Okay. You need to throw that last one in there. And a damn good referee who's like, my goodness. Look at Nick Patrick, how young he looks, and the mullet he's got on. And Paulie, I guess Paulie's talking to Medusa here. I guess.
He might actually be calling Eddie Gilbert to see if he can warm a spot up for him in Philadelphia. This is your first Starrcade without Ric Flair.
Right.
How different did Starrcade feel without the Nature Boy?
Oh God! It to me, Flair and Starrcade went hand in hand. The first Starrcade was a Flair for the gold, right?
Right.
Named after him.
Right.
And then the Gathering, and then the match against Ronnie Garvin, and I just wow, the match against Nikita, just tremendous.
Were you in touch with Rick when he's gone at this point and he's in the just out of sight, out of mind, like Bobby Heenan?
Well, no. Well, look, you know Rick as well as I do. Do you think he's ever called anybody back?
He calls me all the time.
Really?
Yeah. Called me yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
It must be me then. Oh, I was the other day. I was, or let's say, in October. 1, 2 in October. I was over to my accountant's office, my tax guy, which is in the same area that Rick lives in.
Yeah, suburb of Atlanta. And I called his number. Nobody answered. I called His lady friend.
I called Wendy, and I said, "Hey, as a champion, I thought I'd stop by and see him." She said, "He's doing a phone interview right now. He'll call you as soon as it's done." I said, "Okay." I'm still waiting on that fucking call.
Well, do you want us to call him and prank him right now on the air?
You think he'd mind? Okay.
I mean, what's he going to do? The worst he's going to do is motherfuck us and hang up, right?
Exactly.
Half the internet thinks we hate each other anyway. Did you know that?
What?
There's like all these conspiracy theorists who think that Rick and I had some major falling out and that
Really?
we're not on good terms. And
Oh, wow. Really?
Everybody doesn't know the deal, but it's like, come on.
The fucking internet. Jesus Christ. Look, if you're one of those idiots on the internet that believe that and is perpetrating this rumor, you're fucked. You are fucked in the fucking head. Fuck you. Did I say enough fucks in one sentence there?
That was a lot.
Thank you very much.
Let's call this right here.
Okay, off the top, Ravishing Rick Rude comes off with an axe handle. It's not a double axe handle. That's just one axe handle. 1, 2, and a 2 count. Notice how that guy on the front row must have lice or something because he is scratching his neck. And Rude will pick him up and go to the throat of Big Josh. This, especially when Josh is in here, not a bad match.
Oh, man. When he's in here, it is such a difference.
Yeah, it is.
It really is, 3 of the best all-time, underrated performers.
Yeah.
Steve Austin was more than just drinking beer and middle fingers. He
Sure.
could work.
Sure, he
And
can work.
And obviously Rude is in a league of his own. And, you know, the idea that, and we've talked about this before, but those guys with Heyman as a manager, holy shit, one of the best factions of all time.
Yep.
Just happened at a time when business was down.
You know, when we talk about work, being able to work, we're not necessarily talking about being able to wrestle and the work rate. We're talking about being able to work your gimmick. And that's one of the things that Steve Austin was able to do, especially work the Stone Cold gimmick.
Right.
Ravishing Rick Rude could work the Rude gimmick. Big Josh could work the Doink gimmick or the Big Josh gimmick. Van Hammer,
He's over there.
he's over there. Okay, into the midsection. Now here comes Rick Rude. So being able to work, guys, is much more than just being able to work in the ring. But we're seeing guys who can work in the ring, and Josh who can sell as well, man.
Let me ask you this. In real life, which guy would you want to fuck with the least? Big Josh or Rick Rude?
Rick Rude.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I got the impression that Big Josh was a fucking maniac in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. But Rude would be the kind of guy that I always thought that you fuck with him and he'd shake his head and walk away, and then when you turn, he'd knife you.
Knife you? Did he carry a knife?
Not that I know of. That's just, okay, look, you turn your head and he hits you in the back of the head.
Okay, I was going to say, it's like Crocodile Dundee should have been his gimmick.
No, I just think Rude would pick his moments.
Let me just tell you one of the my favorite things about, you know, tag team wrestling. Just a minute ago, of course, it would have been very easy for Rude and Austin to make the tag, but they're heels, so they don't.
Right.
So instead, they just switch out.
Right.
And Rude, when he's in the corner, claps his own hands together real loud to make it sound like it was a tag, and
Old
then the
school
ref
shit.
turns around.
Yeah.
Super old school, but as a kid, man, that shit really worked for
Oh,
me.
you damn right it really worked. You damn straight it really worked. You know, heels getting heat.
Who's the first guy who did that? Do you remember? If you had to really think the first time you saw that, because I know that's been around a long time.
I remember Flair and Greg Valentine doing it when they were taking part.
Wow. That would have been what, late 70s?
Yeah, late 77, 78, 79.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a little thing, but man, it really works. Well, this is one of the things I hated about this is we see these larger than life characters sitting around looking at a monitor on fucking folding chairs all together.
Yeah.
Like one of these guys is supposed to be fake Spider-Man. And he's, I'm on camera. I got to jog in place like I'm Spider-Man. Like I can't just be sitting here eating a fucking corn dog.
Exactly. I need to ask a question here, and I just realized it as we were watching, and I've been thinking about it. I'm thinking about the entire time here. Didn't we promote that Oz was going to be a part of this?
Yes, he was actually in the announcement early in the show.
Right, but we didn't see him.
No, because, you know, he's a mystery.
Maybe a house fell on him. I don't know. Gee whiz. Van Hammer's starting to get, and they're saying, fuck you, we ain't clapping at all. Come on, clap with me.
I mean, here's the thing, too. Like, he can't even clap right.
No, he can't.
Like he's not a wrestling fan, and that's clear.
Right.
Because he thinks that the way he's trying to get the crowd fired up is the way Ricky Morton does it. That's not how Ricky does it.
No, it's not. Exactly. Again, it's knowing how to work. And it doesn't necessarily mean knowing how to work in the ring. Josh trying to get out of it. Oh, tremendous move. Oh, Josh say, fuck you. I ain't going to tag that son of a bitch in. Oh, but I'm going to miss an elbow.
Hey, every now and again, people will, I'll see the comments online that people say that our podcast is boring or it was a miss or it wasn't a good episode.
Who says that?
You slapdicks. So I'm wondering, you know, seeing Steve Austin here in the ring, working Big Josh made me think of it.
Yeah.
Should we get one of our hunting buddies over and talk about hunting knives for the rest of the podcast?
Yeah. You got one?
Well, I'm just saying, I feel like, I mean, that's what other wrestling podcasts do.
Okay. All right. And now
What?
they're a wrestling podcast talking about hunting knives.
Steve Austin's show is pretty much him talking about being on his ranch and knives and IPA beers and just bullshitting with his buddies.
Well, he is Steve Austin.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is, if our downloads are down,
Yeah.
we need to fucking talk about knives.
Why not? I already said something about a knife. 1, 2. Oh, wait, here comes the save by Rude. And now we're going to go to the finish. I certainly do believe.
I honestly thought you did that because we had this conversation off air that we should start talking about hunting knives. And then you worked in a knife into the second match. And I was like, God damn, Tony's such a pro. He's taking notes so well.
Listen, I'm not.
Rude awakening.
Thank God. Let's put it on Hammer. Well, let's see if Hammer kicks out at 3, 2, 3. No, he didn't.
Good for him.
Thank
Probably
God.
because Rude would have beat the fuck out of him.
So stay down, buddy. Stay down, Van Hammer. Former Mr. Minnesota. No, wait a minute. That was Tom Zink. It's the Rude Awakening gets the win. Let's see it in replay once again. Conrad, you call it. And,
The Rude Awakening.
oh, all right. There you
Rude
go.
Awakening. Rude Awakening. Rude Awakening.
Some bitch. Yes, sir.
As God is my witness, he's broken in half. Somebody stop the damn match. Van Hammer doesn't have a family. I mean, who would claim him?
Not me, buddy.
Speaking of good old JR,
Yes,
what are
sir.
your memories of working with him here? Were you guys at odds?
No, JR and I were never at odds. Here's the thing about it is JR thought he was the best. I thought I was the best. And we had a personal rivalry, but we always worked together very well. We always liked each other. JR, to me, people that knew JR outside of hold on, there's my sign. See my sign? I had that guy bring that sign in.
Medusa, room 269, Holiday Inn, key
Oh,
under the map.
That was I paid that guy.
Is that the best sign ever?
I paid that guy $10 for that sign to put that sign up, and they chased
that
him
guy
away.
was 31. Someone murdered him.
All right, let's go back.
Magnum is working this whole fucking barrel all night with one goddamn arm. He needs the other arm for his cane,
Yeah.
and no one will help him.
Oh, God.
Why are they doing this?
I have no idea why they did, but listen, Magnum, that was his home area, his home territory.
Look at Ricky Steamboat. He's so hopeful. Please let it be me.
Ricky knows how to work, man. So shake the hand of the natural Dustin Rhodes and Richard Morton. Not Ricky Morton, but Richard Morton, who only 5 years ago, prior to this, was one of the biggest stars in this area. Comes up
Absolutely.
as Richard Morton now.
We should mention that Richard Morton has a podcast right now.
Really?
That I can recommend to everyone. And of course, Morton, great friend of the show. So I'm not sure what's going on right now. Zabisco's out, Elegante's out, Mike Graham was out wearing his glasses.
And
There's a lot going on.
Medusa was walking out. And let's see who comes out. So we got Dustin Rhodes and Richard Morton. They're going to be tag team partners, I guess. And here comes Larry Zbyszko. And you know what? It is impossible for Medusa to look bad. Impossible. She looks
Is this
good.
the best she ever looked right here?
Oh, I don't know. No. It's not the best she ever looked, but she looked great. Now,
I'm trying to give her a compliment and you'd shit it.
No,
He'd shut it right now.
I'm not. Look, I just, you don't.
He's so big, they put an extra E in the.
Yeah.
It says,
the giant. You don't realize how big this guy is until he actually stands in the ring. Look how much bigger he is than everybody. Is that
Larry
unbelievable?
Zbyszko especially.
Yeah,
Right.
is that unbelievable? Oh, God. El Gigante.
We haven't talked about Elegante a lot here on the show. When did you first meet him? Is
Oh.
his real name George?
Yeah, and we met him when we had the press conference for him.
Right?
That's the first time I met him. Was really a friendly person. Really smiled a lot, was a friendly person. But I just think that his feet gave out on him.
Who had the unenviable task of trying to look? This match is so bad, they're turning the lights off. They want this to be a dark match in the middle of a pay-per-view. And we should mention here again, much like the last match, you've got three phenomenal workers, and they made them change corners here, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. The power of the dark side. I'm sorry, what?
Does that mean you got a text message from someone in your family?
No, somebody's not my family. Okay, so go ahead.
Oh, so when I text you, it does that?
Uh-huh.
I need you to change mine.
Yeah. Okay. That was a Rose Bowl text. Got a text about the Rose Bowl. As a matter of fact.
Well, let's interrupt our podcast for that. Let's talk about hunting knives. I tell you, whenever I shoot a deer in the head, I like to get a cold steel 17-incher.
And I'm what?
I think that's the name of a fucking knife.
I'm going to the Rose Bowl, and you'll be going to the Sugar Bowl, right?
Yes.
Yes. All right. And maybe we'll see each other in Atlanta. Who knows?
And if we do, we might have a fun surprise for all our listeners.
I'd
right?
like to. It'll only be a week to be able to get it together.
Well, that won't be any trouble for the venue we're planning, right?
Yeah.
Did you get all the details worked out on that?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. And it's shoulder blocked by the natural Dustin Rhodes. You know what? You know the thing about Dustin? They call him the natural.
Some of the best theme music of all time. And you know, he used that for Starrcade 2017.
Yes, he did. Yeah. And then he said in his interview, the music was terrible. Music wasn't terrible. It was unique. And Larry Zbyszko can just,
By the way, let's just mention how fucking fast Dustin Rhodes is in the ring right here. And I know Dustin is a guy who wasn't ever known to be like a body guy, and he's obviously in tremendous shape now. But holy cow, how fast was he up and down and all over the place right here?
and you use speed. Speed helps your moves. It helps make the moves, the hip tosses or whatever. It makes them more effective.
It makes them look like they snap more.
Exactly.
It hurts more.
Exactly.
No, right here, I mean, you've got three of the best workers around. Of course, people will say whatever they will about Larry Zbyszko, but a really talented performer. Man, I never really thought about it, but you got a guy like Ricky Morton taking a body slam from Elegante.
Yeah.
And no matter what he does, Ricky's going to over pivot. He can't take it flat. He's going to fall on his tailbone.
Yeah, I know.
Just because it's so fucking high up there.
Exactly. It's freaking scary. It's high up there, and it's also done by a guy who is, as we like to say, green. The jolly green giant, you see.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho. So, well, look, the giant was like, we can't compare him to Andre the Giant. We can't compare him to the Big Show, big guys. But guys that size were a novelty, an attraction, more than they were like Giant Baba.
Yeah, I think Giant Baba is actually a good example, but he's so much bigger than Giant Baba.
Yeah,
we haven't talked about this before, but in my opinion, Big Show's the best super giant of all time. Would you agree?
I agree.
I don't even think it's close.
I could do a lot. He could do a lot of shit.
Yeah, he did everything.
Right.
I mean, you could legit murder that motherfucker.
Right.
Throw him off a goddamn building, and he's going to win the world title an hour later. You know what I mean?
Thank you very much.
Hulk it up is one thing.
Remind us of that bullshit.
Coming back from death to win the world title in an hour, that's a comeback story of the year.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, I just, here's a cover. 1, 2. I just had Larry Zbyszko on my radio show in Atlanta.
Well, how high was he?
He was not on an airplane. He was actually coming out of his home in Florida. And he said,
"Oh, come on, we're gonna act like Larry Zbyszko doesn't like marijuana now."
So, he was in a good mood.
Oh, I'm sure he was.
He was happy.
I don't know many pissed off weed heads.
Okay, here inside Cradle by the Natural Lesson Rhodes, and he got a 2 count out of that.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's probably legal wherever he lives.
But here's what I did: getting prepared for Larry Zbyszko on our show. I watched Zbyszko against Bruno Sammartino.
Really?
At the Shea Stadium.
How was that?
Oh, good God. That was tremendous. That was tremendous old school shit. Vince McMahon was the ring announcer. And there was a sign that the fans had put up at Shea Stadium that said, "We want blood, Bruno." It was good stuff, man.
Yeah, I think so many people really forget just how over that angle was. And Zbyszko was a critical part of that.
Yes, he was.
And of course, he wasn't really happy with the payoff, and we know how that all wound up. But he had a good run with the AWA, and then I enjoyed his run here with the Dangerous Alliance.
Yeah.
And anytime you're going to put somebody with Paul Heyman and Medusa and Rick Rude and Bobby, I mean, what a stable. I know we say it all the time, but I think you could argue that it's one of the greatest factions of all time, and it just gets overshadowed. If there weren't a 4 horsemen, I think people would be talking about the Dangerous Alliance.
I would agree. Nicely done. Tag, and here comes the big guy in. But, big guys try to step over the ropes and don't really do it as well as he does.
No, he does it like without the rope really moving that much.
That's exactly right.
So, hey, I know you have a fascination with penises. Let's just get to it.
Okay.
Oh, wow. What a big shot there was. Well, you love dicks. I mean, he picked him up by the head like a baby.
Baby's arm. And now he's going to whip him in. And a double drop kick. Dustin, 1, 2. And Zbyszko does the job. Zbyszko does the job. Oh, and now what have we done? We've taken our biggest guy that normally would go into a battle royal, right?
Right. And you've found a creative way to get him out of there you can camouflage that he can't work.
Yeah, but I would have kept him in there.
Well, but this gives you an opportunity for your 2 best performers in the ring, Dustin and Ricky Morton, to continue. But I wanted to ask, I don't know when we'll talk about him again. Elegante, do any hog watching?
No, did I do any hog watching? No, but you got to imagine that's got to be a roll of baloney.
Oh my God.
Don't you think?
A roll of baloney.
Don't you think?
I was like, should I even mention this?
What?
I was just not ready for roll of baloney. Like, I was on the fence. Like, this is just like the most blatant thing ever to ask, but I know Tony's going to have a good one-liner here. And there it is, a roll of baloney.
Yeah.
So my baloney has a first name and it's L. My baloney has a first name in it, or a last name, and it's Gante.
It's Gaigante.
I feel like that's going to be a shirt over at lowestrules.com real soon.
Roll of baloney.
What do you think JR's saying right here?
He said, well, this show's full of baloney right now. Now let's go back to Eric Bischoff. And he always gives a smile. Now notice how we're back to Eric again. Please let these two people talk, Eric. Let them talk.
I can't, Tony. I've got to get my shit in. This is my first Starrcade, and my first act as boss here is going to be fire both of these people. One for fucking over my good friend Jason Hervey, who I pretend to make TV shows with now, but no one's ever heard of any of them. And the other is Dusty Rhodes' friend with a mullet and a cane, and I'm sure he was a big deal once. But look, I know people from Japan and how to pronounce Jushin Thunder Liger, and that's going to be one of my big acts as a company here. Is who the fuck is that guy?
Was that Robert Gibson?
No. Now I'm going to get my trailer trash buddy out here, Diamond Dallas Page. He looks like he's straight from the trade day or the Walmart, and here he comes. He's probably got crystal meth to sell us.
Look at Zabisco's still selling it, buddy. Oh, great job. Great job, Larry Zabisco. And that's that. And just to, if you're watching this with us, hope you are, just let you know, Magnum TA and Missy Hyatt will not say anything. And you may say, well, we would rather look at Missy than have her say something. I always thought Missy did a pretty good job on the air. She played
with the exception of Starrcade 87 when she lost her place.
Right.
She was always pretty good on the mic.
Yes, she was. She played the part correctly.
What the fuck is going on when Mike Graham is here? Now, no disrespect to Mike Graham, and of course we all know that Mike's passed away.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Yeah.
But who bought a ticket here to see Mike fucking Graham?
Well, nobody.
And
who bought a ticket here to see Bill Kazmaier?
Okay, well, that's another pet project that you're booking somebody on potential. But what's the potential for a Mike Graham? I mean, he looks like he should be a fucking referee. The referee looks like he could whip his ass.
Yeah.
Mike Graham would not qualify for 205 Live. Mike Graham never drew a dime.
Well, I know a lot of people down in Florida Championship Wrestling thought he was a very tough guy.
Yeah, he's not.
Okay.
Now, I should mention, here's my deal on this. Mike Graham was an asshole, in my opinion.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because Mike Graham goes on every shoot interview before he murdered himself. Mike Graham went on every shoot interview and buried every fucking body and talked shit about everybody as if he was fucking God's gift to wrestling.
Huh.
I found that to be sort of shitty. And there's lots of rumor and innuendo that Dusty told, and I don't know if this is true or not, but Mike Graham would tell people that Dusty told him to go out here and eat up Jushin Liger. Had you heard that before?
No.
So that's the rumor and innuendo. So let's watch this match and let's see if we can pinpoint some moments where Mike Graham is not really cooperating with Jushin Liger.
Okay, that's interesting. Let's see what we're doing. Well,
Mike Graham, what's your favorite Mike Graham match?
Well, I can't remember a favorite Mike Graham match, but let me say this about Mike Graham. Mike and I got along quite well. I really liked Mike.
Well,
he made me laugh.
I'm sure he was a great guy.
And well, look, he was a good agent too. Now I know he got fired, right? He got fired for that match in the back of the truck that we've already done. Remember the bunkhouse?
No, he was back after that.
He was back after that.
Yeah, he was there when Benoit quit.
Okay, well, but he was a good agent, man. I watched.
Look,
yeah, there you go.
Graham doesn't participate.
Not at all. Okay.
And he just goes over and tags him out.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you go do something. And actually,
and look at Liger.
He's frustrated. Yeah,
exactly.
So Kazmaier here, I actually met as a youngster in Montgomery, Alabama. He was doing Tough Man exhibits at, I don't know, some event. And so he was like pulling an 18-wheeler with his teeth or some such nonsense. And that's clearly why you guys bring him in. He's as big as a house, is getting a little bit of notoriety in that world. Who makes the decision to hire a Bill Kazmaier?
Dusty. Well,
is that a Bill? Is that a Jim Herd? Or
that's a Jim Herd thing. That's an absolute Jim Herd thing.
Now, what an interesting second version of Mike Graham here, because we've got him not wanting to do anything for Liger, but if Kaz touches him, he flies across the ring.
That's because he legitimately is scared of Bill Kazmaier. He realizes if he doesn't want to do something for Kazmaier could confront him in the back and snap him in half. Right?
How would you describe the outfit that Diamond Dallas Page is wearing here?
Ooh, this is a little bit of superhero meets white trash.
Let me just say that I'm pretty sure my grandma had a jacket that looked just like this.
Yes. Or a muumuu. And never jump into the waiting arms of a guy as strong as Bill Kazmaier.
Can you imagine this being a real card on a pay-per-view? This is supposed to be your biggest show of the year, and we've got Diamond Dallas Page before he was Diamond Dallas Page, Bill Kazmaier, who nearly decapitated himself. By the way, that was pretty incredible to see a big boy do that.
Yes.
Jushin Thunder Liger, holy shit, Hall of Famer, and Mike fucking Graham, who should probably be holding a clipboard in the back.
Well, and that's normally what he was doing. And why he was put into this, I don't know. I don't know if it was Mike Graham's call to be one of them, or if it was Dusty say, Mike, you go out there and you know what you're doing. You go out there and show them what's going on, which could have been it. Oh, my God. Kazmaier way too far away for that. And a very young DDP coming up.
We should mention here that this is at a time in the company where there's a lot of people going in and out, but you've still got a lot of stacked talent here. Big names. Steve Austin, Brian Pillman, Cactus Jack, Dustin Rhodes, Diamond Dallas Page, Jushin Liger, Buff Bagwell. Lots of big names here. But you've also got guys leaving as well. Of course, Ric Flair, which we've covered. Sid is out of here. Kevin Sullivan's gone. Big Daddy Dink, I'm sure everybody missed him. Robert Gibson has been let go. Nikita Koloff, One Man Gang. Of all the sort of new hires, the Bill Kazmaiers, the Big Josh, the Oz character, Scott Hall as the Diamond Stud. We're going to see Brian Clark in a minute. Lots of new influx of talent here. Who do you think WCW had the highest hopes for? Van Hammer?
No, they had the highest hopes for El Gigante.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They thought he was going to be the next big thing. No question.
Of course, you know, we've talked a lot about this on old episodes. You should check it out in our archives. But WCW officially split from the NWA in January of 91 and became World Championship Wrestling.
Right.
You know, as far as a brand name, did you feel like that mattered or hurt the product one way or another? Was NWA a more established brand, or at this point was it all about TV?
Well, at this point it was all about staying out of a lawsuit. I believe the promoters who had ties to the NWA wanted to control who the champion would be and not WCW controlling. And WCW said, the hell with that. We'll just become World Championship Wrestling and shelve the NWA. For me, it hurt me because I love the NWA.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. I know a lot of our listeners grew up the same way.
Right. Well, but now isn't the NWA run by the guy from the Smashing Pumpkins now? Doesn't he own that?
Billy Corgan owns the NWA now.
Okay. Is he going to get his money back from that, you think? How much did he buy the NWA for?
I don't think
$10?
It's officially been disclosed, but I know the number and I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
And you'll think that, well, I don't know what you'll think.
Okay. Jeez.
But you could buy a nice house with it.
Oh, I bet I could. Gee whiz. Who got the money for that?
An attorney who sued his way into ownership.
Wow.
A guy named Bruce Tharp.
Okay.
And you can't trust a Bruce, right?
Yeah.
Well, this right. Bruce wears loud jackets too. You know what I mean? So right now you're like, well, that's 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, he's an attorney.
That's
so,
great.
I mean, he's fucking out of here.
Wow. And he owned the NWA. So.
Yeah, I believe the story I got was he sort of legislated his way into ownership.
Uh-huh.
And then a few years later, I believe he sold it for a pretty nice little windfall for himself.
It'd be interesting to go back and just follow the dots to where the NWA went from.
Well, it's really crazy to think about. You see the old matches with, Harley Race and Terry Funk and Ric Flair.
Jack
and you're like, hey, the guy who owns this promotion is the lead singer from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Amazing.
Like you would have never put that together. But then again, people wouldn't have thought we'd have Tony Schiavone and the mortgage guy doing a podcast.
Exactly. And now look at this. He's going to put him up into is this a surfboard? Is this what you call this? I forget. Is this the Rocco Death? Taking a bad angle at Mike Graham. Get into another angle quickly.
Quickly. Would you like to see Tom Zink in this? If Tom Zink and Rey Mysterio took turns doing that to each other, would that be your dream match?
It wouldn't be my dream match, but it'd be a very interesting shot now and then. And Mike trying to call a spot. Liger doesn't speak English.
How fun is that?
Wow. Very good. And he's got him in the Boston Crab in Norfolk. Oh, is he going to give up? Is he going to tap out? No. Might give him a little bit right there. Maybe not. And was a tag made? No, we got a gigantic clusterfuck going on right here.
What's going on?
Gigantic clusterfuck.
How frustrated is Liger?
Oh, Jesus. I'd go out and tag out again. Okay. See, a little handshake. I just want to let you know that.
It feels like Liger was motioning to the back. Like, what the fuck?
I think so too. I agree. Jesus.
He's probably thinking, well, this American can't fuck up a headlock. We'll just do this.
Can't fuck up a headlock.
By the way, does it not feel like at this point, as we see him here, Mike Graham, by the way, very athletic maneuver there
Yes.
for Mr. Graham.
Do a backslide. 1, 2.
Mike Graham looks like a villain from a Rodney Dangerfield movie. Doesn't he?
Yes.
You're getting kicked out of the club, see? You won't be able to golf here anymore, see? We don't like your kind around here.
Back to school too.
You don't wear a sweater vest, see? You don't belong, Mortimer.
Oh my God. And now, I
mean, Mike Graham legitimately looks like everybody's dad on the weekend,
Yeah.
right? He's walking around in his fucking underwear. It's going to make you a grilled cheese.
Exactly.
Tell him to go get the paper.
I agree. Mike didn't have the look. Didn't have the look at all.
Here's someone who did. Diamond Dallas Page.
He had the look, right? Yeah. Grandma's moo-moo.
Can you believe that this is on fucking pay-per-view? Like, y'all asked American people to go to work and work their job, put up with their boss's shit, and wake up early and stay late and fight the traffic for the right
to watch
see Mike Graham and Bill Kazmaier and Diamond Dallas Page on pay-per-view.
2 girls front row ringside just woke up and walked away. They're going to go to the bathroom and kill themselves.
You know, this is one of those times where we're doing a podcast, and I really wish I could do what I do in real life, and I would just fast forward the fuck out of this.
You do that too? You fast forward through
We
that?
should mention that Jim Hurd, he kicked him in the fucking head for real.
You damn
there.
right he did. You damn right. Do it again. Do it. Ooh. Sell that some bitch. Yeah, sell that. I think we're getting a little stiff here, don't you?
A couple of those look like they had some meat on the bone.
I believe they did. Ooh. If I'm Bill Kazmaier and I know that he's fucking with my partner like this, I just come up and try to break his ass. That's what I try to do.
Well, here's what's funny. He's like, fuck this. I'm out of here.
That's exactly right. Oh, tag to DDP. God, this match has gone like
78 minutes.
Yeah, and that's 77 minutes longer than it should have gone.
Look, tag again.
I got him. I don't want him. You do it. Wow. Hey, but you got to say, Conrad, great teamwork here by Mike Graham and Diamond Dallas Page. Wouldn't you say? Teaming back and forth, tags back and forth.
You know what's great is Mike Graham's got to be the only guy in the world in the history of wrestling. And he says, no, put him down. I want him fair and square.
Yeah.
Mike Graham's got to be the only guy in the history of the world who would say, no, fuck Jushin Liger. Let me work with Kazmaier. Who says that?
Nobody. Oh, God. Oh, okay. Reversal? Let's see. Are they working again? Oh, maybe so. Over the top. Oh, my God. Oh, here he goes. Wow. And we missed it.
For 1991, that was a hell of a spot. It's a shame we never saw it.
We never saw it. We completely missed it.
In fairness, look at Jackie Crockett back there.
Yeah.
Why is he not wearing pants?
Jackie Crockett did exactly what he wanted to do. No one fucked with Jackie Crockett, buddy. No one did. Even when he didn't own the company, he didn't fuck with him. It's like he would dare you to do it. What's Liger doing here now?
Waiting.
Yeah, I know
We
he's
all
waiting,
are.
but we just fuck up our spots here. Okay.
Yeah, I guess the plan was to be suplexed in, and he was waiting on him to take his sweet fucking time to get up there.
Okay.
So this shit is so bad that just a few weeks after this, in January of 92, old Jim Hurd would resign.
Yeah, boy.
What a nice fucking moonsault that was.
2 count. Yeah. Can you believe that we're having Jushin Thunder Liger in a shitty match?
No.
Yeah. Jim Hurd will resign. And of course the die was cast probably by this time.
And he's got he's going to be replaced by 38-year-old Kip Fry.
K. Allen Fry.
Who was the executive vice president and TBS attorney. After the resignation, Hurd reportedly went to
There's your 3 count. You surprised that Diamond Dallas Page did the job here like Mike Graham?
No.
No, you're not. Of course not.
No. I mean, and I guess why is Diamond Dallas Page at this point, nobody thought would be anything.
Right.
People thought Diamond Dallas Page was going to be a joke and that, you know, he was just here today, gone tomorrow. Nobody had any idea that Diamond Dallas Page was going to work his way out, his ass off and become a top guy.
Right. Just goes to show you never know.
Yeah. I mean, 6 years after this, Diamond Dallas Page would be one of the more over acts in the company. And
Right.
7 years after this, probably, you know, top 3 guys in the company.
Right. And that's our message for you today, youngsters. Work hard. You never know. And now fans are standing because what do we got? Oh, we've got football. We have football. Oh, shit. It's another wrestling promo. Super Brawl Dos. And there was Tom Zink. Did you see Tom Zink in that?
I got to say, I'm disappointed in your promo skills here.
Okay. Sorry.
It's February 29th.
I'll do better. I'll do better next time.
Fucking leap year.
Yeah, it's leap year. That's right. Exactly. Let's go back to JR and Tony Schiavone talking about Super Brawl. The good news here, Tony, is that Jim Herd will not be around for Super Brawl 2. I'm not so sure who will be in charge at that time. I was hoping my good friend Cowboy Bill Watts would be, but that's going to be down the road. But there'll be no Jim Herd. Jim Herd and Jim Barnett got me back to this company, as you know. Yep. And I know you've been miserable since that time. I'm miserable too, but the good news is I will go on to have a great career, and you'll go on to be unemployed in wrestling after the year 2001. That in mind, let's go back to thank you very much, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. Reach in there again, Magnum, one more time. We don't want you to say anything. Missy, open it up for me. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Are you excited, Conrad?
I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't fucking wait either. Here we go. Who's it going to be?
Look at the heels. Like Arn Anderson's made to look like a goof.
I know. He's hugging Bobby. And now let's bring in the total package, Lex Luger. I ain't high-fiving any of you fuckers because I don't like you. And who's going to be his tag team partner? Let's see. Oh, it's Arn Anderson and Bobby Eaton, right? The fuck is Bobby going? Who's his partner here? Bobby just followed Arn out. There goes Terry Taylor. So we know this match is going to be shitty. And there's our man. There's our man, Tom Zink. Go get him, Tom. There's our man. All right.
Van Hammer's just chilling in the back drinking a Diet Coke.
Okay. So wait, hang on a second here. Where did Bobby Eaton go?
He's in the ring.
No, he's not.
Okay.
That's Luger in the ring, right? Let me tell you why. He's the best of all the guys. That's right, Tom. Point and talk and
No, sing. Come on. You can't tease us.
Tom Zink. Tom Zink. I know what. He beat the fuck out of Bobby Eaton in the back. Bobby walked out right behind Arn Anderson. Yeah. They had their arms around each other. Come on, Bobby, follow me out. Fucking dumbass hillbilly from Huntsville.
Bobby Eaton probably went and got a big pickle.
Yeah, probably so. All right. Arn Anderson and...
You know what I just realized?
What?
I have those boots that Arn Anderson's wearing.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll tweet a picture out.
Okay.
But yeah, I actually own those boots.
How about that?
How about that?
That's old school shit right there. Oh, and they're taking the...
Those Terry Taylor boots, what do you think those are worth?
Oh, God. Not as... What happened to Terry?
Well, nobody knows because Jackie Crockett wasn't shooting it. He was looking at Tom Zink. Tom Zink.
Okay. You're going to bump for Terry Taylor? Please don't. Yeah, he is. Yeah, Jesus Christ, Arn. Hadn't we learned you yet? Oh, there you bump for Zink. There you go. Yeah, little enziguri kick coming up here. We see it right off the top of the big pumpkin head melon. 1, 2 and a 2 count. And Luger.
How awkward was Luger breaking up the count?
Luger couldn't do shit back then. He got better. He did. But back then, it wasn't much.
Of course, Harley races on the outside. We should mention, I'll get to that in a minute. I guess I should cover this right fast.
Okay.
After he resigned, Herd went and cut a promo to a lot of Turner executives, really blasting Dusty Rhodes, Jim Ross, and Magnum TA. He praised Jim Crockett in the meeting, rather, saying he felt bad for him having to deal with the other 3.
Wow.
Crockett allegedly was responsible for helping bring back Steamboat, Rude, and Dangerously. Do you remember Crockett's involvement in getting those guys to come over?
I remember that was pretty much known that he got them to come back. I did not hear that Herd buried Jim Ross.
Buried him in a big way.
Wow.
And it wasn't too long after Kip is in control here that Bill Watts has brought in.
Right.
We've never really compared the two. If you had to compare working for Jim Herd or working for Bill Watts, how would you do so?
I would do so by saying that Bill Watts taught me a lot about wrestling, taught me a lot about how I should sell, taught me a lot about being a wrestling announcer, and actually worked with me on my announcing, where Jim Herd did not. So that's how I would compare it. And I thought Watts knew so much more about wrestling than Jim Herd did. Now, he took it a completely different way, as we all know. Right? He went so far right.
Right.
That maybe the fans weren't ready for that. But as you notice to your right there, Bruce Pritchard and Jake the Snake Roberts are still watching.
Jake's put on a few pounds.
Yes, he has. So is Bruce. Well,
Bruce looks the same.
Looks the same.
At the beginning of December here, do you remember Lex Luger quitting the promotion?
No, I don't.
He quit at the beginning of the month because WCW had fired Harley Race, and Meltzer would report. The last word I heard is that everything's been worked out because Luger did miss the 11/25 television tapings in Macon because it wasn't resolved in time, but he would be back. So obviously it was short-lived, but who would have made the decision to cut Harley Race, and why was Luger loyal to Harley like that?
The decision to cut Harley Race would have been Jim Herd's decision.
Right.
I guess out of respect for Harley, because, we all loved Harley. We did.
Who didn't?
Yeah, I mean, Harley was just a great pro and a great guy backstage that everybody liked. He never caused trouble. I go back to this. I always thought that Harley Race and Ric Flair and those guys who are still alive, and I know Harley has been ill, so has Rick. I think wrestling should take care of them for life. Vince McMahon.
Right.
I really do. But
we don't know what they're doing.
No, we don't. And look, and I also got to say it's pretty good that Harley's got a jacket that's the color of God's green earth.
It's pretty good, Harley.
Thank you very much.
I thought the impressions were up to Bruce, but I mean, you kind of nailed it.
Thank you very much.
That is like a Rolex screen right there.
Yeah, that's something else.
Hey, speaking of watches, what type of watch were you wearing for the show? I saw it shining through your cuff earlier.
I was wearing is it called Tag Heuer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wearing that.
That was your jam?
Yeah, I got that like for a song and a dance.
What does that mean?
Hey, I mean, those watches are like $1,000. I got it for $300.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
When do you remember Rolex as being a big thing in the business?
Oh, from day one.
Really?
Yeah, from Ric Flair, and he always had a Rolex on, and then we saw Tully with one, and
no, Tully had one of those Mickey Mouse nugget watches. That wasn't.
Oldie never had one. I don't think Arn had one.
Arn wears one now.
Does he wear one now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you ever think about getting a Rolex?
No, shit, no. Those things are expensive.
Okay.
Expensive. I don't even wear a watch today. Do you? Well, yeah, you do. I don't wear one today.
Yeah.
Because everything I do is on my smartphone.
I'm a watch guy. I love watches.
Yeah.
Arn Anderson is putting on a clinic here. And of course, we've been talking over it, and I know we give Terry Taylor a lot of shit, but he's a very good wrestler.
Terry? Oh, of course he is.
And Arn Anderson here working with Terry Taylor, you're going to get your money's worth. And then, of course, they tag Lex Luger in every now and again, and we go to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah, the difference here is that Terry Taylor's a great worker. Arn Anderson's a great worker. The difference is Arn Anderson could talk. He could cut a promo, and Terry never could.
Well, and I feel like Arn's more giving, if that's even a thing. I feel like when Arn sells for you, Arn goes the extra mile and makes your shit look devastating.
Just like right there.
Every little thing that you do to Arn looks like it's murdering him. Right. And, Terry will sell for you, but it feels like Arn's just going the extra mile.
But, that's smart. Let me tell you, in wrestling psychology, how smart it is. If you sell, and here's a 1, 2, 3, my man Tom saying from the top, if you sell and make all the moves of your opponent look devastating, then when you beat him, you've beaten somebody.
Absolutely.
So that's great wrestling psychology.
I agree.
That Arn Anderson could employ. A lot of
Flair
the guys never did that. Yeah, Ric Flair did the same. Absolutely.
Well, of course, we recently made, the assertion. Look at Tom, can't even run the ropes.
Sorry,
what the
Tom.
fuck?
Oh, Harley Race caught him.
What a beautiful DDT.
Absolutely. Tom kind of overselling there.
I never saw anybody sell a DDT that way.
No, just flipping, flopping around the ring. Oh,
it's like a Faith No More.
Oh my God.
Lex Luger, Tom Zink, same guy, just darker hair. I mean, look at him.
Well, again, it was something I think we've talked about on past podcasts. I think Luger had the better looking body. He did. I mean, you could not back in that day beat Lex Luger's body, for crying out loud. That was.
Did you ever try to beat his body?
I never tried to beat his body. I remember.
Did you ever ask him to beat your body?
I never had him. Stop it. 1, 2, and a 2 count. I never asked him that. I can remember back in the old Crockett days. I think I've talked about this before, but I'm going to say it again. I remember there's somebody pulled off their shirt, and we were back in the backstage area doing promos, and Luger was there with a tie and a shirt on, and somebody took off their shirt in a promo, and Flair turned to Lex after the promo was over. He said, "I want you to take your shirt off and show everybody what a real body's like." And I'd never seen him without his shirt on. Okay, he took it off. I remember going, "Holy shit! Holy shit! I've never seen anything like that in my life." With the traps way up in the air and the delts and everything. It was just a spectacular body.
Did it move?
What? The body?
No.
No. I know what you're trying to say. I'm going to ignore that. No. But here comes my man Tom Zink trying to make a tag to Terry Taylor.
So let's talk about Lex quitting. Do you remember Lex quitting? How did they get him back?
Okay. I do not.
There was something kind of funny that Meltzer reported around this time.
I bet he did.
That WCW announced they were going to be donating a portion of the proceeds from Starrcade to the Starlight Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And do you remember the Starlight Foundation? Can you chat us up about that?
The Starlight Foundation had to do with, here's a 1-2. Starlight Foundation had to do with almost like a Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Well, the portion of the proceeds is they upped the pay-per-view from 1995 to 1999. So those 4 cents went straight to Starlight.
That's nice of them.
I'm being serious.
4 cents?
4 cents per order.
How many orders do we have?
We did a $1.2 million buy rate or 1.2 buy rate. So you did okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably $40-$50.
Give him another $1. I mean, say every $1, 4 cents.
Honestly,
what the flying fuck
if
were we
you dumped
doing?
out whatever was in Harley Race's pocket,
Okay.
that would have been a bigger donation than what you guys did.
4 cents. We really said 4 C's.
1995 to 1999, and the difference straight to the Starlight Foundation.
That was really, really nice of us, wasn't it? Okay. Did we promote it here? Did we show a graphic of the Starlight Foundation here?
I don't know.
We're so fucking stupid. We didn't even do a promo. This is now, not now, because we got some pretty good performance there, but this is just a shitty tag team tournament night with no promos.
Right.
With no interviews. I'm going to venture to say this will go down. I don't know what Meltzer and all the dipshit stuff that he does gave about. This will go down as one of our worst pay-per-views ever.
I think it's the worst pay-per-view ever.
Is it worse than? I think it's even worse than Sold Out '97.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah,
I would agree, and that's really saying something because that's sort of unanimously regarded that way.
right.
What a nice maneuver there by Terry Taylor.
Absolutely, picking him up. Arn Anderson with the break. The only thing that we're going to see that saves this night, if anything can say it's, well, let's just get into this clusterfuck here.
What the fuck is going on?
What is Tom doing?
What does Lex Luger do? Terry Taylor doesn't know.
No, nobody fucking. Only one knows is Arn Anderson. So what does he do? He gets out of the fucking ring. Oh, Arn with the elbow or with the knee. That is
pile driver coming up.
Oh, there it is.
What a terrible pile driver.
Yeah. I tell you, Luger wasn't good.
But that's
back
his
then.
finishing move.
Yeah.
And he can't hit it.
Yep. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner. I hope we see a replay, and I'm going to need you to call it.
Okay.
And don't call it straight. Let's have fun with it.
Want to have fun with it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's take a look at the instant replay. As soon as we get the tape machines rolling, here it goes once again. Earlier in the event, Arn Anderson hits, and he will connect with the elbow right on the side of the head of Terry Taylor, and hopefully that had him lose a couple of teeth. And now here we go, the worst pile driver ever. Holy shit. His head didn't even hit the mat. Didn't even hook the leg. 1, 2, 3. The only thing good you can say about it is that, thank God, this fucker was over. Now back to the clowns. Oh, God. What do we say about this, Schiavone? Thank God the Luger match is over. The only bad news is we're going to see Luger back in the main event a little bit later on. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Arn. The good news is we're not going to see Terry Taylor. And let's take a look at at the guys who are made it already. These are the guys, the 10 who have made it already. We can't show you graphics. We're just showing you Chiron reveals. That's how stupid we are. Why can't we show?
Here's what I like. Thunder is not in quotation
Right.
marks. The Thunder is apparently Jushin's middle name.
Exactly. And there they are, 10 guys who are already in. The bad news is, Tony, we're only halfway through.
When you look at that list, do you not feel like which one of these is not like the other with
Oh.
Bill Kazmaier?
Oh my God.
It's unbelievable.
Oh my God.
So there's your $300 tag right there. Look
Yeah.
at you.
Okay. And there is.
By the way, the sign is back.
Yep.
And this one, I got ran off something about Luger and attitude.
Yeah.
Why does the cop have such a hard on for this flannel person?
I have no idea. In about 5 to 6 years, the signs will rule. All right. Thank you very much. Let's go back. Magnum and Missy, say nothing. I'm holding the microphone. And I've been excited, as you guys have known, for the first 5 matches. We've got 5 more to go. Oh, here it is. There you go. Have it. Okay. All right. Here it is. Who's it going to be? It is going to be, let's see. Who's on the list here? Let me check my list. Nobody fucking knows. Nobody fucking knows. Nobody can hear in the back. Whoa, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Whew. Thank God we got a good worker coming out. And let's fuck it up with Todd Champion. Ricky Steamboat.
And Todd fucking Champion.
Oh. You know, Todd Champion makes Van Hammer look good.
How about this, though?
Yeah. Cactus Jack. Gotta put butts in seats.
Now, I actually like what they're going to do here. This seems kind of fun to me.
Yeah, the thing with...
well, let's not spoil it.
Okay.
By the way, I have a friend who looks just like Buddy Lee Parker that you just missed. Brad Beiser from Nashville.
Yeah.
Could be Buddy Lee Parker's fucking son.
Yeah. Lois has some family members look just like Abdullah the Butcher. And head first into the...
He's really fucking wearing him out.
Yes,
here.
he is, man. You know, this was a pretty good deal. As
Unless
shitty
you're
as
Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker, and then it's not such a
no,
good deal.
but what I'm saying is that this and the match that Abdullah Butcher gets involved in add a little bit of life to this thing, don't you think?
I love Vader's just sitting on the floor doing nothing, and
Right.
then when they come over to him, he decides to move. Oh, I better get up.
Yeah. But he did a good job of selling this. And bang, bang, we're going to go to the ring. My God, Cactus Jack does not have a partner, Conrad. What are we going to fucking do about that?
Well, hopefully Todd Champion is going to just say, you know what? Let me get out of the way. Let you guys do your thing.
Just so you know right now, Todd Champion's blown up already walking to the ring.
Todd Champion is another guy who I feel like you could look at and say, well, he has potential. By the way, how bunny is Abdullah the Butcher here in 1991? Of course, one of the scariest wrestlers in the history of the business.
No question.
And they're going to do kind of a fun deal here. And I want you to really pay attention to, there's going to be another party introduce himself.
Mm-hmm.
And when he does, there are some shots coming up that look all the way legit.
Okay.
So Abdullah the Butcher, do you wear your pants that high in real life, Tony?
Well, there was one time that I did pull up my pants and Ole Anderson saw me and he said, "Where'd you get those pants from, Abdullah the Butcher?" I do remember that back in like 1991.
I feel like you roam around your house with your pants that high right now, though.
I don't know.
Does Lois wear her pants up to her boobs, or her boobs go down to her
Her
pants?
boobs go down to her knee pads.
Why does Lois have knee pads on?
I don't know why I said that.
What are y'all doing?
All right, get out of here. Take your kendo stick with your little fuzzy end on it, and I guess they're going to beat up Buddy Lee Parker. Now, what am I looking for here?
Here we go.
Okay,
So he's wearing out Buddy Lee Parker with his stick,
right?
and eventually someone's going to have enough. And by the way, look at that. That really hit him in the head, dude.
Holy, and hit him in the head again.
He's really welted him up here,
Yeah.
and he can't do anything but cover up. This
Right.
is apparently why it was so hard to get trained at the power plant, because Buddy Lee Parker got CTE from Abdullah the Butcher. Now, Cactus Jack just flew off the ring into the floor in the guardrail, and
That
of
we
course,
missed.
we missed it
Right.
completely.
Mm-hmm.
Todd Champion just sprained an ankle.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, Todd, please get away from him. Thank you. Wow.
By the way, Cactus Jack and Ricky Steamboat, two of the best wrestlers in
Yeah.
the company in 91. Wouldn't you agree?
Exactly. And we put Todd Champion in there. So, yeah, if you think that these were legit draws, you're wrong. That's Steamboat, man. Everything Steamboat did back then was so real, so with authority.
It's so interesting to me that Steamboat doesn't get the notoriety that I think he deserves, because you look at the guys he's most frequently, paired with, and it's Ric Flair and Macho Man. I mean, those are the guys that people talk about his matches with the most. And, of course, he had a couple of really awesome matches with Steve Austin too. And I just don't think people regard him as being in that upper echelon. Do you think that's because he was never a heel, because he was just a purely white meat babyface? Was he not as strong of a promo? What was it that kept him from being regarded the same way a Shawn Michaels or a Ric Flair might be?
Probably because people who doing the regarding are idiots. I tell me a bad match Ricky Steamboat had.
I mean, there's
none.
You'd be really pushed
exactly.
to come up with anything he ever did that wasn't awesome. And,
exactly.
But I just feel like most people say, "Oh, Ric Flair or Shawn Michaels is the best wrestler ever." It's always like 1A and 1B, however you do it.
Yeah.
But Steamboat, he's got to be somewhere in that conversation, but he's not.
Let me ask you this question about Steamboat. Cactus Jack goes on the outside. Do you think the dragon gimmick hurt him with the dragon's head and all that shit?
Possible.
Yeah. Because that kind of was over the top cartoonish.
How about that was a really innovative spot there for 1991 with the suicide dive there.
Yeah. And Steamboat and Cactus Jack taking the bulk of this match, which is great news for fans. And there you see us on the side. There's Diane Keith in the big pink jacket. She was our stage manager back then.
Did she talk that country?
She talked that country. She sure did.
Did she drink buttermilk? And eat cornbread?
She might do it. Between the legs, drinking Steamboat. Ah, great kick that time. How about that? Steamboat pulling out all the stops here on Cactus Jack. Nope, Cactus, once you get up. Okay. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Here goes that. That's how he did it. He blew up every time he did a move. Touch.
He looks like an American Gladiator.
Does he?
No, I'm just saying the look is very, I could see why you would think, hey, this guy has the look to be a big star.
Again, the look, a Van Hammer look, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, they're trying to compete with the Hulk Hogan's, the Ultimate Warriors.
Sure.
And, you look at a guy like Sting. Sting didn't come into the business. He came in through a bodybuilding deal. He didn't grow up loving wrestling, but he had a great look. And in time, he became a much better worker and a pretty decent promo. Yeah. And he became a star. And I know that's what they're looking for here, but nobody's ever going to compare Sting and Todd Champion.
No, not at all. Oh, Buddy Lee Parker, huh?
He's got that power plant won't quit in him.
And am I wrong?
Do it for above average Mike Sanders.
Yeah.
Do it.
Am I wrong? And I think we're going to see a little bit later on. Joey Maggs and Rip Rogers are part of our security crew.
Is that right?
I believe so. We'll see it a little bit later on.
If this event were happening in 2017, I think I'd want to use SeatGeek to make sure I had a good spot to check out the show. Don't you think?
I think I do too. And, we're getting close to the time of the bowl games and the championship games. Some of the bowl games have started. And I want to let you know that I was using the SeatGeek app long before you and I were talking about it.
Well, I have too.
Yeah.
Top rope, elbow to the floor on Todd Champion. I actually picked up my seats for Alabama Clemson using the SeatGeek app. And this is only the second time I had ever used it before, but I was able to get the tickets right after the announcement was made that Alabama was going to be in that game. I don't know where I would have even looked to find those seats. I just pulled up my SeatGeek app right on my phone. It was the easiest way I know of to shop for tickets. And you could do this anywhere, and in just a few taps, you'll find your seats instantly, just like I did. I use SeatGeek. You will too. You're going to find it just as easy as I, because they make it the easiest experience ever.
They certainly do. Not only that, guess what? And this is going to blow you away. Even though I work for the Georgia Bulldogs, I did not get tickets to the Rose Bowl through the Georgia Bulldogs.
No way.
Lois Schiavone got a ticket to the Rose Bowl through SeatGeek.
Well,
how about that?
If Lois can do it, you can too. It's going to save you time and money. And the way they do this is by comparing and searching multiple ticket sites so you get the most amazing deal. They're going to get you the most bang for your buck, and they're going to grade every single ticket based on value to help you immediately identify where the best seats are that fit your budget. So you tell them how many tickets you need and what your budget is, and they're going to give you some scores to let you know, hey, these are the best ones for you. So you can finally shop guaranteed for the best seat and do it with confidence using SeatGeek. You're going to be able to do this right on the app. So best of all, I guess, just because you listen to our show, you get an even sweeter deal, right, Tony?
$20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. That's $20 off your first purchase. Just download the app, enter promo code What Happened. That's WHATHAPPEND, and enter that today. That's promo code What Happened. $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. SeatGeek is more than just sports. It's concerts, it's theater, it's comedy, whatever you want to go to. SeatGeek can make it happen.
I can't recommend it enough. It's a free download for the app. And I'm actually looking at, I've got a trip to New York coming in January, and I'm going to get some Broadway theater tickets using SeatGeek. And I know you would love to see a Broadway show.
No, you're not kidding. A musical, I'd love to see it. Absolutely. Chicks and ducks and geese better scurry when I take you out in the Surrey. That's from Oklahoma, by the way. The Georgia Bulldogs are playing. How about that power slam by Ricky Steamboat? Steamboat, one of the great top rope flyers. There you see the fans even responding to it. Look at that. And all his glory up top. Buddy Lee Parker fighting to get up. Get up, buddy. Down you go. Crossbody. 1, 2, 3.
Buddy Lee Parker was in the match 14 seconds. He got pinned for 3 of those. There's no justice where Cactus Jack doesn't move on, but Firebreaker Chip does.
You mean Todd Champion. But that's okay.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, there's not. You're exactly right. We're going to see Firebreaker Chip, Ricky Steamboat, great spring. That was the move he used to beat Ric Flair back in the 70s to win his first title.
A TV title, right?
The TV title. The NWA, or I think back then it was the Mid-Atlantic Television Championship. And a star was born at that time, and still one of the greatest performers ever, regardless of what some of you guys may think on the internet.
No, that's not fair. I'm just saying, I think even the boys in the business would say Shawn Michaels or Ric Flair are the best, but for whatever reason, Steamboat is not in that same category. But to me, Steamboat is very much in that Arn Anderson, Ricky Morton, Bobby Eaton. I mean, you can't do much better than that.
Well, let me say this as we take a look at Buddy Lee Parker. There's Dennis Brent, who's in charge of WCW magazine, watching on. My experience with Shawn Michaels was Shawn Michaels as a member of the Rockers.
Right.
And then when he became a big star, I was either on the other side or I wasn't watching it. So I have no
experience working with
him or basis for Shawn Michaels. But I know he was good. I wish I could have seen a lot more of him.
Here we go.
All right, let's not let him two talk. Who we got here? Sting? All right, Sting. All right. And this is going to be kind of entertaining here. And I say that because his partner is going to be Abdullah the Butcher. Oh, Johnny B. Bad. Johnny B. Bad said, oh, my God. He reacted to it, but then Abdullah said, I'm going to go to the ring and beat the fuck out of him. And Cactus Jack gives him a little pat on the back. And I guess we're not going to see the Diamond Stud, who's all taped up here, is in a sling. Who are the opponents here? Flying Brian. Okay. And Bobby, hope Bobby makes it to the ring this time. Last time he followed Arn Anderson out, and he did not even get to the ring. So here comes Abdullah. Abdullah and Sting are partners. Now, Abdullah does realize Sting's his partner. Go shake his hand, right? Wrong you are. Oh! What is the sign? Sting is dead, for crying out loud. What's this all about? Bang, bang, Sting is dead?
Well, they're Cactus Jack fans.
Okay, got it.
They're not, it's not Maddox threatening to kill your family.
Okay. And now Flying Brian comes in.
Look at these shots from Flying Brian on Abdullah. Watch this, Tom.
Yeah. Lay it in, man. This is for Buddy Lee Parker, right? Abby's going to say, what the fuck have I got myself into? But you know how Abby was. He was nuts. He didn't give a shit. He did all kinds of crazy stuff. Look down the left. Is that not Rip Rogers down the left and the blonde hair? Am I wrong? Watch this. There's Joey Maggs.
Oh, yeah. You're right. It is.
Yep. Absolutely. You just never know who's going to show up at a WCW event.
Yeah, you really don't. I mean, had I known that Rip Rogers was working security, I'd have fucking bought a ticket. I got to tell you.
Meanwhile, up on top, Bobby Eaton taking the measure of Sting, doing what a great tag team partner should do. Now, it's going to be kind of confusing here. You see the steady cam over on the right. Going to be kind of confusing here. Jimmy Suzuka taking pictures down the left. But Sting and Abdullah the Butcher are tag team wrestlers. Notice how the one-man gang and his suspenders not moving there at ringside. Oh, he moved his chair a little bit. Maybe he farted. I'm not sure. And Bobby Eaton going to work on one part of the body. Strategic here, Conrad. Strategic. One part of the body. Would you agree?
I would. Hey, you've been out of wrestling for a while. Did you know that Abdullah the Butcher has hepatitis?
No.
Not only does he have hepatitis, he infected another wrestler named Devin Nicholson and was ordered in Ontario court to pay him $2.3 million. And it was upheld in Fulton County Court in Georgia, where Abdullah lives.
Well, what year was that?
In the last 10 years.
Really?
Maybe the last 5.
It kind of doesn't surprise me. He bled all over everybody.
Yeah. So I guess my question is, did you ever swap blood with Abdullah?
No.
I know you didn't on camera, but I don't know what your private life was like.
No, I never did. But I always liked Abby a lot. And, I told the story of being bled on by Cactus Jack and
you were nervous.
I was nervous, yeah, because it got in my eyes and everything.
And you thought maybe Cactus Jack had something.
It could have had something. He could have had hepatitis. You don't know. You just don't know. Because that was back in the AIDS really on the forefront, news and everything.
So you thought Cactus Jack might have AIDS?
No, I just didn't know. I was scared.
So did you
Don't
ever
put words in my mouth, for crying out loud.
How did I do that? You said people were scared of AIDS. I was nervous.
There was the AIDS scare, and you just worried about yourself. Okay, Ricky Steamboat stopped juicing back then. He said no more juice.
Yeah.
But he didn't. Does he blame anybody for having hepatitis or AIDS? No, he just keep it out.
Talk to me about Abdullah the Butcher. Did you ever eat at his Chinese restaurant?
Yes, I did.
You did?
Yep.
Did you get hepatitis there?
No, I did not. Me and Jim McKean, longtime umpire in the major leagues, ate at Abdullah's one day. He came down to do a Braves game, and we went over to eat and talked to him and had a good time.
Did you have the ribs, or did you go Chinese and have the cream of some young guy?
I had the. I'm sorry, what?
The cream of some young guy.
Oh, that. No, I didn't have that. But I had ribs. Yeah. Rib tips is what I had.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
They were pretty good. But that's since gone out of business.
Right.
Down
Yeah,
on Campbellton
well,
Road.
normally when it comes out the cook has hepatitis, business gets.
I don't think
thinner.
he was a cook. I think he was the manager. Okay.
Well, he had his finger in everything.
Okay, whatever. So he's last time I saw Abdullah was this past summer at Bud Carson's World of Wrestling. He was in a wheelchair. Got to talk to him for a little bit. Good to see him. Also saw him at Starrcade as well. But meanwhile, this is what I never did understand. Sting is your best babyface, but Abby is beating up his partner more here than he actually is beating up his opponent. But I guess that's just Abdullah the Butcher being Abdullah the Butcher. How about that drop kick from Flying Brian? Holy shit! My voice sounded pretty good here today. When I was doing MLW Never Say Never, my voice sounded like shit. But it's pretty good today. I wonder what I.
It's probably court. You're just allergic to bullshit. Hey, let's talk about Never Say Never.
Yeah. Whoa! Watch out!
We should tell everybody you can catch that right now at MLW.tv.com, right?
MLW.tv.com.
Well, actually, I fucked that up. It's MLW.tv.
MLW.tv. I do the play-by-play with Rich Bikini. Rich Bikini. Okay, did you wake up?
Yeah.
Okay. Rich said, I really certainly thought that you and Conrad were mad at me. I said, Rich, motherfucker, grow up. Jesus Christ. I said, we like to have fun. We shit on everybody, okay? I said, feel proud we shit on you. If we don't say your name, then we don't like you. Jesus. All right. So anyway, back to this match. We have, this is, I think, and agree with me here and not agree with me, and I think this is one of the more interesting matches of the entire Battle Bowl scenario.
You got 4 stars, but you've got unlikely tag partners who don't want to be tag partners.
Exactly. And of course, you got Sting, who's one of the major stars here, and to be one of the biggest stars ever. And Bobby Eaton, who can work, Flying Brian, who can work, and Abdullah the Butcher, who is just one of the great gimmicks of all time. I remember back years ago, and fans, you may remember this back in the pro wrestling, when I used to read the magazines, Bill Apter magazines, you would see Abdullah the Butcher crunching on light bulbs or eating raw chicken. And you think, man, that guy is freaking nuts. So I always liked his gimmick, and certainly he was a star in Japan. And Bobby can freaking work, and Sting can work, and this was just the whole story of this. You know, I always said, "Oh,
What the fuck was that, Tony?
I don't know." Bobby didn't want to take the either didn't want to take the pile driver or wasn't supposed to take it right there. I don't know, but here goes Flying Brian hammering Abdullah the Butcher.
What is it about Lex Luger and Sting where they can't give pile drivers?
I don't know. Green. You know, this is what, 91, and Sting he's only been wrestling, what, 5-6 years? Okay.
Well, it feels like
What the fuck is Cactus Jack doing in here? He took that kendo stick, he hit the wrong man with it. He hit Abdullah the Butcher. Abdullah the Butcher is dazed. Sting's going to go on top. Who in the world is he going to hit? It's going to be Bobby doing the job. Crossbody. 1, 2, 3, and another crossbody for the win in BattleBowl.
a deadly crossbody, man.
Man, remember, if you keep doing the same maneuvers, they mean nothing. Just a little tip for you guys out there who want to be wrestlers. You keep doing the same maneuver, it means nothing. And that's my tip for you independent wrestlers today. Here's the replay again. Now, I don't know if this was a kendo stick or not. I don't know what this was, but it caught Abdullah the Butcher.
It was a stick of doom.
The stick of doom. And stop the replay right now. We've had enough of it. Let's go to the next one. And Cactus selling the mouth, walking away. And Bobby, God, that wasn't that good. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. But it's not over now. Oh, my God. Now, Abby just...
Humpty Dumpty.
You damn right, Humpty Dumpty. There's Joey Maggs on the left, Rip Rogers on the right. And this is one of the things that I really liked about this. Watch these two goofballs on your right, just kind of watching. Yeah, they're not going to hurt anybody. They're just wrestlers. Yeah, it's all fake. They're not going to hurt anybody. Cactus, realizing these guys were just doing it, he grabs that guy. Isn't that fucking great? Yeah, you better sell it, motherfucker. We're fucking for real. Don't stand there with your hand on your dick. Oh, God.
If you take that line out of context, it means something totally different. We're fucking for real. Don't just stand there with your hand on your dick.
Yeah. Now they're pulling him apart, aren't they? You damn straight. Yeah, it's real now, motherfucker. Get away from me, fat boy. And here's a shot up in the top. Gordon Soley, Lance Russell.
What are they doing?
They are doing I don't know what they're doing. There had to be maybe it was on the hotline, doing the play-by-play on the hotline.
So people were paying $3.99 a minute to hear that?
I don't know. I can't remember. They were doing another alternate commentary on it.
I'd like to have heard their version.
Yeah, I would have too. It'd been much better than mine. I can tell you that. But God bless both of them.
I mean, you look at this announce crew. Is this not the best announce crew in the history? I mean,
no.
Gordon Soley, Lance Russell, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone. Nobody's ever had a squad like that before on the announce team. Well, I'll tell you this, it beats the fuck out of Tony Schiavone and Rich Bikini in 2017.
Rich gonna think we hate him now.
Yeah, it's
gonna think we hate him. By the way, have you listened to Rich and JJ's podcast? That's what I thought. All right. Hey, I'm so excited. I want you to get in there and grab another one. There he goes. Grab. Missy is looking Missy cannot look bad. She just looks good.
I tell you what, though, that version of her with the Nasty Boys
is the best.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the best. Look at the smile.
The haircut back then was on time.
Okay. Rick Steiner. Here he comes. You know who that was speaking through there? Grizzly Smith.
I was going to say, yeah. He's probably looking for young girls.
Oh, stop it. Oh, the Diamond Stud, he can't wrestle. So he's going to bring in the Night Stalker with him.
Who would go on to be?
Who are going to be Wrath.
There you go.
Thank you. And who are the partners going to be? Okay.
Adam Bomb was his WWF
Okay,
name.
Adam Bomb. Ooh, Vader time.
With no mask, he looks weird there.
Yeah, he does. He looked weird the entire night. Now, someone has to wake up Mr. Hughes on this one. All right. Mr. Hughes. What? Me? Mr. Hughes. Would somebody wake up fucking Mr. Hughes?
You mean Big Cat?
Big Cat.
From last year.
Yeah, Mr. Hughes. What? All right, we're still waiting on him.
2 years from now, Vader would be in the main event. World champion, top guy against Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Here, he's like a hungry hippo.
Finally, Big Cat Mr. Hughes makes his way down.
By the way, give me your best facial for every Curtis Hughes entrance ever. course. I
We
wish
did
this was a video.
How about the first facial on a podcast that you can't
Nah,
see?
fuck it. These guys have got to watch along. Use your imagination. Theater of the mind.
Okay. That's what Mystery, that's the way he did.
I know. He makes the same face every time.
Yeah,
and of course, I say that and he doesn't do it here.
Yeah, I know.
but
He sticks the bottom teeth out.
It's like a dog with an underbite.
That's right. That's the way he did. And now he just slowly walks around.
By the way, the
your
Night
hat off.
Stalker here, this really threw me off when I watched this, maybe for the first time, or certainly for the first time in a long time.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realize that was Brian Clark.
You didn't?
No, not when I first watched it.
Okay.
And then I see him here and I'm like, wait a minute.
There he is. The Night Stalker. Had a pretty good look, didn't he? Really. He kind of looked like in a Billy Jack Haynes way. Don't you think? Am I wrong?
He's a big dude.
Yeah, he is. Absolutely. And of course, here is every time I see it, I know I say the same thing, everyone. I'm sorry. Here's your member of the Cherokee County School Board, for crying out loud. What the fuck is going on?
By the way, I should tell you, just recently, Bruce and I covered the Steiners on Something to Wrestle. And he acted like the Steiners were not bullies and never did any pranks and never hurt anybody and never
Well,
ribbed
Bruce is full of shit, as we know.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this is 1 week after you're saying, oh, yeah, they stuck 6 Sharpies up this guy.
Yeah, up Chip Burnham's ass. Yes, they sure did. Chip Burnham, rest in peace.
Then I had another guy message me and say, hey, I don't want you to say my name.
Mhm.
But one of the guys from Men on a Mission, Oscar, they taped to a urinal and pissed all over him.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't surprise me.
And by the way, another guy, this is real. They shot him
What?
with a blank in the locker room. They cut a promo on him, reached in their bag, pulled out a gun, pointed it at him, pulled the trigger, and shot him.
With blanks in their
But it
gun.
was a blank.
So
but
you
it still hurt like a motherfucker.
Oh, sure, if you're close enough, right?
Yeah. Well, they're in the same room with him.
Right.
They shot him.
And it hurt, but he also shit himself. Too.
That happened in the WWF, and Bruce is like, they were professionals. Nothing ever happened.
Professionals.
And then the guy messaged me and says, actually, they fucking shot me.
They were the biggest pranksters in the world. And why? Because in real life,
What are you going to do about it?
you couldn't fuck with those guys. They were the toughest motherfuckers ever. You couldn't. You really look at that. You think he's scared of Vader? Not at all. Robbie Rick Steiner was afraid of nobody. That's probably why he does so well at the school board, because he's not afraid of any parent. You know, he's probably he was afraid of no one, man. I need to look him up.
I got his number.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to get it from you. I'd love to look him up, see how he's doing. And he goes in, and here comes Vader. And, you know, Vader loves that strong style stuff, man. So this was right in his wheelhouse. If Rick Steiner wanted to mix it up, by God, let's mix it up here.
I always love the tease from the suplex from the inside to the outside.
Yeah.
As a fan, I thought this was fucking cool.
Right. Wow.
How about that was just fucking muscling him
You
over.
damn right it was muscle. Absolutely.
You know, it looked like a botch, and then eventually, you know, a lesser man wouldn't have been able to do it, and
Right.
Rick Steiner fucking did it.
Right. Absolutely.
He's probably not pleased with Vader right now.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and tag out. Let you take out your revenge
Yeah.
on Big Cat.
Exactly. Vader says, I got to get out of here because this motherfucker is a badass. You know, one of the things in the backstage area, Ric Flair used to always look at Rick Steiner and say, you do know you're my fucking hero, don't you? Because, you know, as Ric Flair, as we all know, he was a big Michigan guy.
Sure.
He wanted to go to Michigan, and he was a shooting wrestler at Michigan. So Ric Flair always thought Rick Steiner was the baddest ass. He always
Sure.
said that. So,
How would you describe Curtis Hughes' gimmick here?
Curtis Hughes' gimmick, it looks like a cross between Abdullah the Butcher and a Baptist minister.
You know, to me, he looks like, let's imagine like an 80s action movie.
Okay.
And we're going to have a bad guy.
Yeah.
And then that bad guy has like a limo driver / bodyguard.
Right.
Who's like this big menacing person who really keeps you from sort of the weakling mastermind evil guy.
Sure. He could have been like in Lethal Weapon, one of those two. Oh, look at that. Release German suplex. Or he could have been like in one of the Eddie Murphy movies.
Yeah, he was like a Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop guy.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
And so, you sort of try to avoid him. And then in the next to the last scene, before you get to the big boss, you've got to somehow overcome Mr. Hughes. Because he's wearing like the black driving gloves.
Right.
He's got the sunglasses on.
Right.
When he wore the jacket too, it'd be totally passable that was the gimmick.
Yeah. Kind of like the role that Batista played in Spectre. Right?
I didn't see that, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Badass Inspector. Not Inspector, in the movie Spectre, the James Bond movie. You're not a James Bond fan?
No.
What's wrong with you?
Well, basically, here's my
Jesus.
deal. Before I watch any movie, I say, would Tony Schiavone like this? And if the answer is yes, I say, fuck it.
There's the top rope bulldog from Rick Steiner. And they didn't.
Where is the ref?
No, you are not the legal man. But they did
Oh,
not.
my
They did not
God.
let the night. Oh my God, that's the end of that. They didn't let him in the ring much, did they?
No. And
Brian
when they
Clark.
did, he took a splash and he took it on his side.
Yeah.
Like that couldn't have felt good.
No,
and I feel like his left shoulder's broken right now.
Yeah, and I feel that the fact that I don't think he's selling right now. I think he's legitimately.
Well,
hurt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Vader was like, "Oh, if you're not going to roll over, I'm doing it."
Yeah. Well, there you see the fans. I don't give a shit about this.
The crowd goes mild.
Boy, does it ever. And that's it. Curtis Hughes, or Mr. Hughes, and Vader. Now you see this great bulldog, but that was not
It was a good
the
bulldog.
finish. And let's take a look at this splash with the guy on his side again.
Have you ever seen his shoulder being separated in live action? There it went.
Oh, God.
There it went.
Oh, God. Kid, 1, 2, 3. Now, the good news is
Good news is you'll be Atom Bomb in 3 months.
yeah, and we're one match closer to the end of it.
Here we go.
And Super Brawl. Fans kicking a fucking football. And a big Super Brawl 2. If you think this thing sucked, just wait. The good news is Jim Herd will not be a part of this. Super Brawl 2 is live and only on pay-per-view, coming your way from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, February 29th, 1992. They brought in Jesse the Body Ventura. That would be his first pay-per-view with us.
Because based on the roster I just ran through of announcers, you needed one more.
Right, not. Why not? And of course, he's a big deal. All right. Now back to Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone. I don't know if JR wanted airtime, wanted camera time on these, but
There's a lot of it.
there's a lot of it. We didn't need that much.
No.
As a matter of fact, I always thought that announcers, let's go back to the live Missy Hyatt, Magnum TA. Magnum TA is a super mega star from his hometown. Wouldn't you think he would just stick the microphone in front of his face one time to say something?
You would think, but he had to get his shit in. Speaking of getting his shit in,
Yeah, boy.
if you want to get fucked up at the hot bar, Big Papa Pump is your hookup.
Oh, God.
And there's your band.
Firebreaker Chip. Look at P&N News, buddy. Man. Oh, Johnny B. Bad. I'm a bad man. Woo, I'm a bad man. Here I go. And news. Whoa, business is about to pick up.
Who is it, Tony?
Brad Armstrong. Arachnaman. God bless Brad Armstrong. I know he's since left us, but he was a goddamn candy man, and he was Arachnaman, but he was great as Brad Armstrong. What the fuck were we doing? Right?
It's interesting to me that you guys have one of the best workers of all time and you don't know what to do with. Look at that guy. Is that guy every WCW fan?
Down in front there?
Yeah.
That's Lois's twin brother. I was talking to you about him earlier, and there he is.
So if that's Lois's twin brother, whenever you see him, do you get a little turgid?
Me? No, I think about going to sleep. Ooh, hush. That's a nice sign. That is well done. If you still have that sign, contact us here at
Tony Schiavone 24.
Tony Schiavone 24. DM us. Let us know if you have that sign, and we'll laugh at you. Okay, so Johnny B. Bad against Firebreaker Chip.
This is real life. This is WCW. Tony, I feel bad making our listeners who are very loyal and faithful and listen to us every week.
Yeah,
They're having to listen to this shit show.
I know.
And it's not even our fault, really.
Yeah, they're having to listen to it. We're going to have to look at it a second time. How about
Let's call
that?
it.
It's the third time
I'm not any good at this, but neither is Rich Bikini. Didn't keep him from trying. I'm going to take a stab at it. Are you ready?
Ready? All right, over the top goes Johnny B. Bad, hits the rope. Oh, an arm drag takeover over the top. He'll do it once again. You saw that one coming. And here he goes again. That's about all that Chip Fire, the Firebreaker, can do in this match.
Firebreaker Chip, hypothetically, do you think that he was mob related?
Mob related?
Yeah, it feels like to me he works in the garbage industry.
Okay.
And he probably is connected. Maybe he knows some of Gotti's crew.
Yeah, it could. You know, I was often told that they're, turn your back on me, motherfucker. There you go. In the midsection again. And those may have find their mark. Sends Chip the Firebreaker in, back elbow, spinning Johnny B. Bad. He's a bad man.
Hypothetically, do you think that Mark Mero is wearing all of this accoutrement here, this flair, so to speak, the lace and such, just to make sure that Brock Lesnar doesn't go back in time and take advantage of him? Or is it to lure him in?
It could be. Look at this. Into the midsection. And now, Firebreaker Chip goes up top. Oh, look at that maneuver. Another crossbody from the top. And he even forgot to pin him, dumbass.
We've seen 3 fucking crossbodies. We have seen 0 good ones.
Yeah, my God. Even Steamboat, who does great ones. That wasn't that good. You can't always. And a tag is made. Here he comes. Here he comes. You know, Marvel looked at this and said, should we sue him? And they went, fuck no, leave that alone.
Is this around the same time the movie Arachnophobia came out?
Yes, it would have been early 90s.
So it's a terrible movie and now a terrible wrestling act.
Absolutely.
Scott Steiner, not happy to be doing this bullshit.
Yeah.
Right now he's asking what he wants from the hot bar.
Yeah.
You want ham cubes? You want green peppers? You want iceberg or spinach?
How about butterscotch pudding? Over the top. And I'll pick your ass up and slam you down. Oh, man.
No, we don't have buy one free burgers.
But we do serve beer, which no other Shoney's will do. Pick up. Oh, back body drop. He's also saying, are you really Brad Armstrong? I'm going to knock your ass out of the ring. Down he goes. Down he goes. Look at the one-man gang. Coughing over on our left now. Or was he sneezing?
You know what I find interesting?
And Bruce Pritchard shouted at him.
We all know that Scott Steiner is a mathematician. And he's got numbers all over his tights.
A mathematician.
There's 100. He is.
Yeah. And I'm a 90-pound Korean jet pilot. Okay.
Here's what you don't know. Since you weren't watching wrestling, he cut a phenomenal promo in TNA where he did math. And I'm going to show it to you.
You're full of shit.
I swear. There's a 141% chance you're going to love it. So hypothetically speaking, who would Mark Mero rather have a fist fight with, Brock Lesnar or Scott Steiner?
Today, Scott Steiner.
Yes.
Back then, maybe Brock Lesnar. Brock
Lesnar's probably in the high school. He's probably an 8th grader.
Yeah,
and he'd still probably beat the fuck out of Mark Mero. Don't you think?
He probably would. And now Scott Steiner said, "I've had enough of you, pretty boy." And again, another tough guy ducks down. Ooh. There you go. Take the punch. Good job.
You know, that's what's crazy is, you know, we're, of course, we're having fun with Mark Mero.
Yeah.
Mero is a legit badass, you know, I mean, a Golden Gloves boxer.
Sure.
He just really, you know, really drew a bad deal here.
Yeah, I know. But you know what? Again, it goes back to Dusty.
God damn, that hurt.
Oh, Dusty taking a look at this guy says he looks like Little Richard. And Mark Mero saying, okay, let's make it. He's Johnny. I remember we were in Columbus, Georgia. Dust said, we're going to call him Johnny B. Bad. And Mark took this and ran with it. Give him credit.
Did Alexandria York apply his makeup or did he do it himself?
No, he did it himself. He did all that stuff.
Pat Patterson should have been here. He could have done something with that.
Yeah, boy. I'm not going to go there. And
I meant with the match. Like Firebreaker Chip needs help with the match.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a snapmare takeover because he doesn't know what to do. What should I do there, Nick? What? Okay.
If Firebreaker Chip had a baby with Dale Wilkes, would anyone care?
Okay. All right. Let's see. Now I'm face down. What should I do here, Nick? Oh, it's not Nick. It's Groucho Marx, the referee. Sorry.
Look at fucking Jackie Crockett.
Yeah.
With no pants.
With no Jackie was legitimate badass, buddy. He did what he wanted to do. I loved him, and I still love him, man. He was just...
It feels like a very Dusty Rhodes move.
Yeah.
But the rumor and innuendo we fans here is that Dusty was not really fond of pants.
Yeah, he wasn't.
So Dusty would walk around ass naked in the locker room.
Yeah.
He would play baseball games in his underwear.
Right.
He just did whatever.
Yeah, he never, he always went I don't know what the term is without underwear.
Commando.
Commando. That's it. He always went commando. I don't know why I know that.
Have you heard about
But I know that.
Dusty used to use a muffler? Have you heard about this?
A muffler?
Yes.
No.
He would take squares of toilet paper and stuff them up his asshole.
Uh-huh.
So in the middle of the match,
Mhm.
nothing would
fly out?
He wouldn't have an accident.
Yeah.
But then once in the middle of a match,
Yeah.
his muffler came out.
Well, okay.
Have you heard about this?
I haven't heard about that, but
You knew that he would stick things up his ass.
no, I didn't know he'd stick things up his ass. But let me say this, as we're certainly are shitting on this match.
Double underhook suplex.
like-
Double underhook suplex. Double underhook suplex.
Dusty's farts were always kind of wet sounding. So I could see why he would do that, because you never know when he would fart if there was a
Some
shart.
leakage.
Yeah, leakage, a shart with it or not. So I could see that. Meanwhile, back to the match. Chip Firebreaker is completely
Speaking of liquid shit, Firebreaker Chip's still in there.
and he's still confused, man. Bless his heart. He's trying.
And Arachnaman's awful slippery.
Yeah. I used to be Brad Armstrong. I used to be somebody, man. I could outwork you. You're not going to reverse that hold on me, you fucking mullet. And head first.
Hypothetically,
Uh-huh.
do you think Bullet Bob was happy that his kid was here? Or what do you think Bullet Bob felt about Arachnaman and the goddamn Candyman?
I'm sure he hated it. Bullet Bob was as old school as they could get, man. As old school as they could get. Is he still working? I understand that at 79 years of age, he still takes bookings.
Terry Funk still wrestles too,
Oh my God.
as does Jerry Lawler.
Ugh. Well, God bless him. Throwbacks, man. Ooh. High knee left. Bullet Bob Armstrong used to do that all the time. And of course, so did wrestling too. And that's a throwback to Georgia days right there. And now Brad Armstrong's going to send you down and say, okay, now just rest for a second, because I know you're blown up and we'll figure out something else to do here.
How weird is it that we covered Starrcade 90 last week, where Ric Flair is under hood?
Yeah.
It's not technically on the show. He's not here at all.
Yeah.
I mean, this feels like a bit of the end of an era for this show. And maybe you could even call it a turning point. Wouldn't you think? Like 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. They all sort of feel like down years. And then 96 comes around and it feels like a big major turn in the right direction. And then 97 just blows the roof off.
Yeah. The years before Hulk Hogan and before the NWO were lean years.
Tough.
Man.
Yeah.
Lean years for WCW. We couldn't compete with Vince McMahon. Could not.
You know, it's kind of funny too, because I think a lot of fans, myself included, really love Starrcade 93 because of the Vader Flair match. But that match did not do that well business wise, did it?
No, it did not. But, you know, a lot of times what you and I love doesn't always translate to
The masses.
the masses. Absolutely.
And that's a shame too, because I feel like a lot of people sort of forget that, you know, the great trilogy of matches that Flair and Steamboat had in 89 were not huge financial successes.
Right.
And nor was Starrcade 93. So they're all outstanding Flair matches, but for whatever reason,
Right.
that didn't result in big box office.
Right. Here's a reversal of that time at a 2 count. Give you a perfect example. We all know the number one, and you're involved with the number one podcast is Something to Wrestle With.
Sure.
It was Pritchard. There's a lot of people out there say, hey, I like you with Conrad better than I like with Bruce with Conrad. Well, I don't have the audience Bruce has.
Right.
He has the bigger masses than I do, and he has big numbers. So I appreciate all the kind words, but you got to realize what Bruce has in front of him. He has the WWE contingent, so to speak. And not only that, it's a great podcast, that too.
We should mention that Johnny B. Bad debuted at Super Brawl earlier this year, man. It's by Teddy Long. And he made his pay-per-view debut at the Great American Bash, losing to the Yellow Dog by DQ. And the character would start when he would put lip stickers on opponents' faces after matches.
Right.
And he would call it the kiss that don't miss.
Right.
Was that also a Dusty idea to put stickers of kisses, or
That
is
was
that
his.
something he came up with?
Yeah, he again, I have a feeling that Brad Armstrong, rest in peace, is the one that came up with this.
Arachnaman?
Well, no, not Arachnaman, but came up with this get up,
Yeah.
these tights. They would just give you your name back then. You were responsible for making it happen.
That's kind of interesting. Of course, that's not the way it happened in the WWF.
No,
Bad started off, doing pretty well. His first pinfall loss was to Sting at Clash of the Champions in September of this year. And he became a babyface just a week or so before here when he teamed with Diamond Stud and lost to Z-Man and P and News. And then Stud and DDP would attack him after the match. And, of course, that makes him a babyface.
Fans are really getting into this. You know why? Because Scott Steiner is freaking legit. And
he is.
He's over.
And everybody knows it.
Right.
Scott Steiner could have been a top guy long before he ever was as a single star.
No question. He could have been a top guy just like he was. There it is. Over the top. 1, 2, 3. And the fans erupt. Bruce Pritchard in the green shirt and the right stands up. George Gray's still going to sit down there in the middle. He doesn't give a shit about anything. And your winners are Scott Steiner and Chip the Firebreaker. So we've got Todd Champion and Chip the Firebreaker going on to BattleBowl.
Double underhook.
Call it there, Conrad.
Power bomb.
There you go.
Onto Mark Marrow.
Let's go back.
And here comes the finish.
Wow. Oh, I'm going over. Oof.
How pretty was that throw?
Nicely done.
Scott Steiner, man, one of the more underrated performers. Timing is everything. And it feels like this is the 19th time that we've seen JR and Tony on camera.
Tony, one thing I'm going to tell you is that in years to come now, 4, maybe 14 years now, I'm going to be in the WW Hall of Fame. You're not. Let's go to Eric Bischoff, who's not going to be in there either. All right. Thank you very much, Jim Ross. I'm still not going to let Magnum TA talk. I'm still going to just let Missy look at me. Missy, will you open up the... I never did understand about...
The fans are leaving in droves. They're done with this shit.
Oh, my God.
We're out of here.
Okay. Yeah, boy. Here we go. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty now. Ron Simmons. We zoom in on P and News onto the left. He said, I want to be Ron's partner so he can do most of the work and I don't have to do shit. Who is it? I don't know who it is. Does anybody know who it is?
My gimmick on Something to Wrestle is I'm the Alabama Dream because people say that I look like Akeem, the African Dream.
Yeah.
Look at there. Do you have a good Tommy Rich impression?
Somebody say something about getting fired up in Norfolk, Virginia. How's that?
Not good.
All right.
So there we go. The partners are being finalized. Of course, we sort of had a spoiler that it was going to be P and News. And P and News is going to be in the match along with Tommy Rich, who has probably been on that Michael P.S. Hayes diet at this point.
They look a lot alike, don't they?
Michael, I mean, serious business. And, how about this?
Yes,
Talk
sir.
about the Armstrongs. The Armstrongs are here in full force, are they not?
Absolutely. Another Armstrong coming out. Were they the Young Pistols at that time?
They were.
He and
Tracy.
Yep. And here goes P and News. Yo, 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 yo.
Well, here's what I was going to say. I think my WCW gimmick should be CN News.
Or CT News.
CT News.
CT News. How about that?
I'll take CT News.
Okay. No, man.
I mean, look at there. I can do that.
I liked his gimmick, man. I liked his gimmick. Remember he had Salt and Pepper in the ring with him?
Do you have a rap for Yo Baby Yo Baby Yo? Could you do one about Tom Zink, maybe?
Okay. Yo, baby, yo, baby, yo. Tom the Zinc Man, yo, baby, yo. You the man, Tom, yo, baby, yo. You, my man, Tom, yo, baby, yo. Let's get the match underway, yo, baby, yo. How's that?
It's pretty good.
Thank you very much.
I feel like that's going to be pretty viral.
It ain't going fucking anywhere.
I don't think Jay-Z has any concerns,
Yeah, I don't think so either.
So, Tommy Rich's chaps here.
Yeah.
Is this a Jim Barnett request or what's going on here?
It could be. You see the front of it? It's kind of exposed. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Look at the Norfolk scope. And you're right. Fans have said, I've had enough of this shit. Hey, all right. But as we're going to see, we only got a couple more matches. Thank God to go before we go. And here's the thing about it is the payoff of this bullshit.
It's the worst show in history.
The payoff of this bullshit is a battle royal, which notoriously sucks. Right?
Yep.
That's the payoff.
It's a horrible shit.
Yeah. And we can. What's Steve doing here? Turning his back on Ron Simmons? Jesus Christ. What is going on? Now, I understand. I get it. You want to try to heal it up here a little bit? Okay. Whatever. Trying to make it work here. And excuse me, sir. I'm from Florida State University, 4-time All-American. Turn your ass around. I'll get into the midsection he goes. He gonna pick. Oh, look at the power of Ron Simmons. That is a gorilla press slam of the highest magnitude, and an uppercut right there, and on the back with an axe handle blow. Sends him into the near side ropes. Oh boy, got him down to one knee. Armstrong got him down to one knee. How about that, Conrad? Talk any time here. I'm losing my voice. Into the ropes. He ducks through. Here he comes with a big shoulder block.
The unfuckwithable shoulder block by Ron Simmons.
How many times do you think that knocked centers off their ass getting to the quarterback when that nose tackle from Florida State cleared out the offensive line? And here comes somebody say something about being fired up in Norfolk, Virginia. Here's Thomas Rich.
I bet, is it just me, or does it look like Tommy Rich knows how to work on cars? I feel like he could turn a wrench.
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Have you tried your carburetor, baby? It might be a goddamn carburetor. You know, M78's had a fucked up carburetor.
Oh, shit.
Hey, get daddy's weed for him. I'll take a look at it for you. Hold my beer.
All right, into the corner he goes. And this is called the Barnett. Up and over and down. And
I thought he liked the in and out.
Okay. I just thought he liked the down. Hey, arm drag takedown.
Now, of course, we should mention here that 2 of our 4 combatants are former world champions, or will be.
Yeah.
Of course, Ron Simmons has yet to win the WCW world title, but he's in line for it. He's going to win it sooner than he ever imagined. And of course, Tommy Rich himself here, a former NWA world champion, the likes of Terry Funk, Dory Funk Jr., Harley Race, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, Jack Briscoe, and Tommy Rich. Do you think Ron Simmons had to suck any dick to be world champion?
What?
I've never heard that rumor. Have you?
No.
Okay.
Fuck?
I'm saying it's absurd.
Yeah.
But yet people want to say that Tommy Rich had to tickle the stink pickle.
I don't
And
buy
I just don't understand where that comes from.
I don't buy it. That's because of who Jim Barnett was. That's all. And Tommy Rich just happened to be the top baby face in the territory. Okay.
He was over like Rover.
And it made him over even more.
Sure. So why do you think people just jump to that conclusion that Tommy Rich, I mean, because look at him, you can tell he's an Adonis.
Yeah.
That he had to.
No, that's a bullshit rumor. That's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit.
I mean, I've never heard that about any other world champion, but people say it about him.
No, and that's because of he was in that place at that time.
By the way, with the leather chaps on and the beard and the ponytail,
Yeah.
does he look like an out of shape Barry Windham?
He looks, yeah. Well, was Barry really ever in shape that much himself?
Compared to Tommy Rich right here? Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you know, and I know you follow this stuff and have a lot more than I have, is PNU still alive? Is he still doing anything at all?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a big feller, man. Oh, my God. And he goes. Kind of reminds me in many ways, size-wise, of a guy that we've been seeing on the MLW, Barrington Hughes. Oh, is he a big one? Oh, face first. For a big guy, he can sell quite well as well. 1, 2, and
when I see PNUs, all I can think about is, wouldn't it be smart to put him on a scaffold? If we could put him on a scaffold with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Bobby Eaton, I think that would really, really do big business.
Okay, and you know what we tell him to do? We say, just get up on the scaffold, get on all fours, hug the scaffold, and shit yourself, and that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I like it.
Okay. Here's a cover. 1, 2, and a 2 count. And Ron Simmons is out of it. Fans, thanks for being with us here. And Starrcade 1991. We'll see you next week. Oh, shit. This shit's not over yet.
Still not over.
Oh,
Still not over.
Tape machines are rolling.
Yeah.
We burned the tape machine.
I wish we could hit fast forward right now. So bad. Chat me up about the world title change, because of course Ric Flair would carry that world title that we're all familiar with, the big gold belt. He would take it north to Vince McMahon, and you guys would instead commission a new world title that Reggie Parks would make that I probably associate most with Vader, Ron Simmons, but other folks would carry it as well. Sting, Lex Luger, and of course Ric Flair. Where would you rank that world title amongst the 3 that were there when you were there? Of course, you had the original Dome Globe that you grew up on, then the big gold,
right,
and then that version of the WCW world title.
That was bottom rung, buddy.
That's your 3rd.
Yeah, that was no different to me than the world tag team belts.
Okay,
That should, and this is not this is, I don't think is a slap on Reggie Parks. It should have been something else special.
Right.
It should have been something more. And
Well,
it just
in
looked like a
fairness-
cookie cutter belt to me.
It probably was because he had no time, so based on the request of you guys, hey, we need a world title now, and we don't have one. Usually when you're replacing a world title, you've got time to go through a design process and have a few rounds of revisions. I'm sure it was, hey, we need a belt. Can you get us one in 10 days? And ta-da.
Well, why didn't we say, we needed the belt quickly. This is what we have. We're going to have a brand new belt made. It's going to be nice. And we should have done it that way.
Right.
But maybe we thought, well, maybe Ric Flair will come back.
Sure.
And the belt will come back. We'll sue for it. We'll get it back. This is what we're going to do. But we should have made it something very, very special.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Dave Milliken owns that belt that Tony just described as a piece of shit. If you'd like to see it, check him out on Twitter at Dave Milliken.
Did I say piece of shit? Okay, I inferred it was a piece of shit. All right. Well, this match.
Speaking of pieces of shit,
this match is
a piece of shit.
Yeah, man, it's just gone down and gone downhill.
Is the flaw here? Because the crowd is just as deader than Kelsey's nuts, to use a Jim Cornette phrase.
Right.
Do you believe that the flaw here is the idea, the concept of anybody can team with anybody is great and interesting and draws clearly on pay-per-view and a house, but then in execution, there's no real backstory, so they can't get any heat, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those Jim Herd things. Okay, I need something different. I need something that fans are going to say, "Hey, we've never seen that before." Well, what he didn't realize is maybe they've never seen it before, but even if they've never seen it before, it doesn't fucking mean they're going to like it, right?
Maybe there's a reason they've never seen it before because it won't work.
Exactly.
And I guess the thing is, it's like not just the word heat to just use wrestling jargon, but you've got to make people care. And so if there's no story, why is anybody supposed to care about this match? You haven't told us anything.
Yeah, sure. Look, we do a lot of armchair booking here, as well we should on this podcast, but make the tag team matches mean something by have the Steiners against a team they were having a feud with. Okay. And have regular teams and storylines leading up to those matches. That would have made it, if you ask me, seem more than just random picks. And of course, let's face it. We have a lot of stars here. We mentioned this, but we have a lot of mid-card guys here too.
Right.
And it means nothing. Okay. It's not saying anything on Steve Armstrong here or Thomas Rich or PN News. But the big star here is Ron Simmons. And Ron really wasn't at big a star right now because he hadn't become the world champion.
No, exactly right. They see him as one half of Doom.
Right.
And obviously it's just not the same. And, Armstrong is not nearly a top guy at this point. PN News is somebody who's, getting some fans interested and getting some fanfare. But Tommy Rich at this point probably is perceived as an underneath guy.
Yeah. This is part fans of our look at Starrcade here during the month of December. And as you can see, we have stubbed our toe on this one. Oh, my goodness. Knees up into the midsection of Armstrong, and now Thomas Rich reaching out to the neutral corner. What the fuck, Thomas? Go to the other way. Let's go. I don't know where I am reach. I'm over here, man. I'm over here. I'm over here, you dumb motherfucker. And he'll go right back to the point of attack and not tag in his partner.
We should mention here that the rumor and innuendo is that PN News hurt Dave Sheldon, the Angel of Death, when he splashed his knees and it put him out of action for almost a year. Allegedly, PN was punished and taken off TV and then had his feud with Austin dropped because he came into WCW in May of 91 and feuded briefly with Steve Austin there. Chat me up here. He's back on TV as of November. Did he have a lot of heat for injuring Dave Sheldon?
Yeah, he did add some heat for injuring Dave Shelton, but look, the kid was green. You've got to be accountable for what you do, but a lot of times you're put into an event like that and you're green. Things like that happen. Injuries happen in wrestling. So sure, he had some heat, but I don't think it was that severe.
We should mention here that Sting had recently lost the United States title to Rick Rude. And he would go on to beat Luger for the world title at Super Brawl. At this point, you've got to feel like with Rick being gone, Sting's the guy, right?
Sure.
You tried it with Luger at Great American Bash. Business hasn't done well. So at Super Brawl, which we've been promoting a lot here during the show, we're finally going to see Sting and Lex Luger face off for the world title. And it's a crowning of Sting, you know, the likes of which we got at Great American Bash 1990 with Ric Flair. And it's interesting how, sort of in hindsight, history doesn't even really talk about Super Brawl 2 with Sting and Luger in nearly the same vein that they do Flair and Sting at Great American Bash 90. Why do you think that is?
Because Flair wasn't involved in it.
It's just that cut and dry.
Yeah, it's just that cut and dry. Absolutely. I mean, you got Flair, you got Luger. No comparison.
And there is your finish and your win. May God have mercy on us all. We are almost done with this shit show. Clearly the worst pay-per-view of all time. I didn't have this much trouble getting through Sold Out 1997.
And fans, thank you for hanging around with us. We'll try to get,
we're going to be over the top and fucking ridiculous for your main event because we need all the help we can get here. Call the finish here, Tony.
Steve Armstrong goes in. Here he goes with a big power slam. Ron Simmons doing a good job of hitting his knees, protecting his opponent that time. And now he'll pick him up for the sidewalk slam. Armstrong got his leg down. One did not want to be hurt. And the 1, 2, 3 from Groucho Marx. Your winners are Ron Simmons and Thomas Rich. And now back to Jim Ross and Tony Schiavone. Look at that big ass bump me while he's walking by. Did you see that? Motherfucker. I'll stand up and I'll pull the pin out of his news. What I'll do. All right, we're getting ready to go back once again to Eric Bischoff, Magnum TA, and Missy Hyde. I know, Tony, Missy looks good. Why in the world don't they let her or Magnum TA talk?
What do you think the PN stood for?
Wasn't that his name?
I think it stands for pussy. No. What do you think?
No. You know what was bad about that joke? It's been the highlight of this fucking show.
Yeah.
That's what was bad about
Nobody's listening by this point, Tony.
Hang with us, guys. Hope you're having a nice Merry Christmas and hope you'll have a great New Year.
You know, the really cool Christmas present to give this holiday season, and this is actually what JR's saying live on the show, is a t-shirt from lowestrules.com.
Absolutely.
Is he referring to a blank sheet of paper right now?
Yes, he is.
There's no writing on it.
There's no writing on it. He's just...
and he's looking at it pretending to read things.
Yeah, and at lowestrules.com, we understand you can get a Tommy Young t-shirt.
Tommy Young!
And we also can get a Lowest... Look at that Lowest Rules t-shirt. Is that for women with big boobs?
You know what I think we should do for our January 1st spectacular?
What?
As a reminder for everybody, we're going to be bringing you 2 shows the week of Christmas. On Christmas, you'll be able to hear us cover the Go Home show for Nitro on our way to Starrcade 1997. It went down on December 22nd, 1997. So that Nitro is coming to you on Christmas. And then on the 20th anniversary of Starrcade 97, at the same time Starrcade 97 happened, we're going to cover Starrcade 97. But on January 1st, we've got a little special, Tony, and thinking maybe we should break some rules. What do you think?
Okay. How are we going to break some rules?
I think we should have some guests.
Oh, we're going to have some guests.
Well, I'm not saying we're going to do a full show that way because we're going to tell the history of the show.
All right.
But I think having a few guests and maybe a peek behind the curtain as to how some of our inside jokes have become so popular came to be. What do you think?
That sounds good to me.
I like it.
Wow.
And next week, of course, it's Starrcade 1999. Do you remember Starrcade 99 for anything in particular?
Yeah.
Bret Hart doesn't either because he was concussed as fuck when Goldberg mule kicked him into the 13th row.
Yeah, this is where Bret Hart was hurt. And also, I remember this match for Medusa winning the Cruiserweight Championship.
Against?
Evan.
No. Yeah, there you go.
Nothing happened. Fucking courageous.
There you go. I love that. So let's talk about these WCW entrance letters here.
Yeah.
Of course, there's the one pyro and then the Black Scorpion smoke. But we get so many comments about the WCW entrance letters here. I mean, I get it probably 7 times a day for real.
Yeah.
Why were these so crooked?
Yeah.
I don't think people understand that was the intent. And it made sense when it was coming off the ground, but it really looks fucking dumb hung against the curtain, does it not?
It does. When what happened here was, here's a WCW insider for you. They wanted to put them down, but then they thought, well, they're not going to be able to come through the opening in the C there, so let's pull it up. But then we pulled it up, and everybody says, well, that looks fucked up. Well, guess what? We're stuck with it. It was made to be on the ground. But then we had the entrance, right? It was just, again, a WCW design. So even though you're right, the WCW was meant to be on the ground and meant to look like it was crooked, right? It was never meant to be pulled up, but it was pulled up.
Jimmy Garvin doing that 80s wrestler entrance. Come on, yeah, all right, guys, let's do it. Yeah. We're ready to rock and roll. Yeah, come on.
Yeah. And here goes, call him the Natural. Yeah. All right. And who else we got coming in the ring? Yeah, Bill Kazmaier. I'm going to hurt somebody tonight. That's right. Jushin Thunder Liger. Oh, thank God, Mike Graham no longer around. And
oh my God. Oh my God.
And Mike Graham, he suck.
You want to do a podcast about knives? Let's do one about knives.
I used to be over. I was a member of the Rock and Roll Express, baby. Fuck you, is what he just said to the camera. Oh, boy. Speaking of hurting people. Yeah. You, baby. Yeah, man. I ain't worth a fuck. Yeah, neither are you.
He looks like a chiropractor who won't take insurance.
Okay. And now here he is. Nipples right above the belt line. Abdullah
Schiavone. Oh.
Abdullah the Butcher. Firebreaker Chip. Yeah, I can't work either. You got it, baby.
Boy, I liked him when he was Billy Kidman.
Okay. Thomas Rich. Oh, my God. It's an all-star lineup here, isn't it? it's an all-star lineup. Oh, thank God we got the star. Here's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Good God. Good God. All the great.
Boy, Steamboat even waves like he's in a fucking parade. He's such a baby face.
He just kicked Jackie Crockett, didn't he?
I thought he was a badass.
Okay, well.
Curtis Hughes is laughing at Jackie Crockett falling.
And speaking of badasses, Scott Steiner. And here comes Lex
Happy
Luger.
hour's over.
Comes Lex Luger and Harley Race with a shirt and a coat from God's green earth.
It's pretty good.
Thank you very much. And here comes Rick Rude and Paulie Dangerously. Yes, I'm losing my hair. Wait till you see me in 2017. You think Schiavone's fat. Okay, and Arn Anderson. Oh, Jesus. I feel your pain, Arn. You damn right I do. Yeah.
Can you imagine right now he's got to be thinking, can I get back down to the WWF?
Oh, God.
Beak, get me a job.
And Sting comes out at the very end. So there you go. Remember, the idea here is to throw the man into ring 2, then onto the floor. We're going to have one man left in each ring, and they will battle for the final.
So it's like a double elimination Royal Rumble.
That's what it is. Yeah. And normally battle royals, they suck. In this case, though, this really sucks. So it's a little bit different than a regular battle royal.
So hypothetically, if somebody gets thrown over the top rope to the floor right now, it doesn't count.
Well, see, that was one of those, again, it was one of those.
Because Arn Anderson and Ricky Steamboat are battling on the ramp, right. Doesn't count, right?
Well, it's one of those rules that we weren't really clear on. I think you'll find out that if a guy gets thrown over the top, he'll have to go to ring 2.
Okay.
I think that's the way it happens.
This has driven me to drinking.
Yes, sir. Steamboat and Arn on the outside. And let's pick a spot. That's what you kind of usually do when you're calling these things, right? Let's go with Lex Luger. No, and he's hitting Todd Champion and then nothing.
Can I just tell you what I'm going to name this episode when I post it?
What?
The J.J. Dillon Show. Because this is the most boring fucking pay-per-view of all time.
Well, let's get Bill Kazmaier out. See, now Bill Kazmaier's over, so I think Bill's got to go.
No, Bill Kazmaier was never over.
Okay. So I think he's got to go to ring 2, right? He doesn't even fucking know.
No, he's not going.
No, he's not going. Okay. See, it's all confusing, man. Oh, man. Thanks for joining us this week on What Happened When. We'll see you next. Well, we're not done, are we? That ring's empty, so we got
to get the crowd. No one gives a fuck, man.
Okay, so we got to bring somebody over the top. Now, you don't have to necessarily go all the way over both ropes. Just go over the ropes. Please, would someone get the fuck out of this ring? Please, anybody, get it over quickly. Boy, Austin has a great working punch, doesn't he? Wow. And Steamboat. Nope. Steamboat's not going.
Is this the first 7-hour pay-per-view in WCW history?
It feels like it, doesn't it? And
hey, your phone's ringing right now and it says Marty Lundy.
is it really?
Yeah, you should answer it live.
Man.
Tell them what we're watching.
What are you doing?
Anthony?
Hey, how come you don't call me back? We're doing our podcast now. Me and Conrad are here, and so
I don't operate on your schedule.
okay. What's going on with you? Why'd you call me, motherfucker?
I was just driving down the road, found out you just thought I'd call, say hello.
Well, I appreciate you doing. Say hello to Conrad.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Not too bad. How you doing?
We're good, man. We're watching you suffer through Starrcade 1991.
This damn phone I can barely hear you.
All right. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you.
So, I mean, hearing Tony Schiavone and Arn Anderson make a phone call
Yeah, I'm
is
at
more
Conrad's
entertaining
house. We're doing
than
some
this fucking
bullshit.
podcast, right?
How
I'm
you
just
been?
saying, this was the
Yeah.
worst fucking pay-per-view
How you been?
in the history of WCW. But we're live, and when Arn Anderson calls, by God, you answer the phone.
Yeah.
So,
Well, when you guys coming back around here?
Tommy Rich, Dustin Rhodes,
Okay.
Richard Morton,
All right.
Jushin Liger, Bill Kazmaier.
Yeah.
How's that for
Yeah.
5 guys in a random
All right.
battle royal?
Well, I miss. Yeah, I miss you, buddy. All right. I will. All right, buddy. You too. See you. Bye.
How's that for a little impromptu hot tag
You
from the
think-
enforcer?
Do you think he's going to get a little heat for calling me?
No.
I mean, he works for the WWE, and I don't. I don't want to,
Oh, they're only allowed to make calls to people.
Well, you listen. You don't. you don't.
Oh my God, that's the best.
You don't.
Somewhere Zack Ryder is going to request a meeting. I don't know if you guys know, but Arn called Tony this week, so we're going to need to see if we can't get him written up, Johnny Ace.
Well, I just you know how
Check his phone records. He called Schiavone.
you just don't know. I just talked to Arn and look at him outside there with. You just don't know how it runs in wrestling. It's just paranoia. It's just bullshit. I mean, it's just look.
Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Arn, we need to have a talk.
Vince wants to talk.
Why
to
did you call Tony Schiavone?
Your friends? That doesn't work around here, son.
I'm your friend. Next time you're driving down the roads in Pikeville, Kentucky, and you're bored, need somebody to talk to, then you fucking call me
Or Triple H.
or Stephanie. Stephanie's your friend, goddammit.
Pal.
How many friends do you need? I've never had a friend my whole life. You're gonna have all these random friends?
You can't work it here. Oh my God.
Call Michael PSA. That's what I do. I need somebody to talk to. That motherfucker will answer all the time.
Will he ever? All right. Well, where are we? Is this match over yet?
Fuck, I wish it was.
Oh God, I should have kept him on the phone for another hour.
Are there any other wrestlers you can just call in the middle of the show now?
We
to
should
kill.
We should probably try to call Flair.
I'm down with it.
You down with
You
it?
call him and leave him a voicemail.
No. Yeah, no. Why don't you call him?
It took you a minute. You call him and leave him a voicemail. That's a
Okay.
great line.
Okay. All right. We're gonna.
Hey, so while we're waiting on you to dial him up, lots of people are asking questions this week. When is Tony getting the tattoo? We should give a peek behind the curtain that Luke Gallows reached out and said, "Hey, if you guys really want to do this, let me know and I'll meet you down there."
Wait. Are we allowed to say that Luke Gallows reached out to us? Doesn't he work for the WWE?
Why are you DMing Tony Schiavone? What the fuck's happening in the locker room? Arn's calling him. Luke's offering to tattoo him. Schiavone! You will rule the day. You fucked with my life.
Oh God.
So Luke Gallows offered to tattoo you up, and you didn't go do it yet. Are you going to get a tattoo on Facebook Live at some point in 2018?
Yes, I am.
And you're going to do it at Luke Gallows Tattoo
At Luke,
Studio.
down in Conyers, Georgia. Absolutely.
I feel like we should make that happen.
I do want to make it happen, but I'm not so sure what I want. Why don't everyone on Facebook or on our Twitter account, what happened when, try to come up with the idea for what my tattoo should be.
I like it. Tattoo suggestions.
Yes, tattoo suggestions.
Do it on Facebook. It's
do it on
facebook.com
Right.
/WHW Monday. And we'll throw something up. And we would love to have your suggestions. We had some great ones. Someone suggested lowest rules, like the T-shirt. Another person suggested the word lowest, but in the KISS format, like the KISS font.
Right.
I thought either one of those would be good. Do you have any freestyle guesses for other things that might be good, Tony?
Tom Zink.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that. But a Z-Man Z,
A Z, yeah.
would be really, could we do that on your ass? I feel like if we did that and we put like the circle around it to show it was like grade A beef or something like they do the ground round at the grocery store, that'd be good.
You know, Lois got wind of this and she said, why would you want to do that? I said, well, I don't understand it. Why would you want to, what are you going to get? I said, I'm going to get $20 tattooed onto my penis. See how long it'd take you to blow $20.
Well,
There you go.
she would never, she's a miser. She would be more of a saver. Shouldn't spend any money.
Should I really make this call here?
I mean, why not?
Okay. So we're trying to call the Nature Boy Ric Flair and watch him not pick up.
Oh, you're really doing it.
You don't want me to?
No, I'm fine with it. I thought you were just ribbing.
What's up, man?
Hey, I'm at Conrad's.
Oh, what are you doing, man? Doing the show?
Yes,
What are you guys doing?
we're putting you over like hell.
Putting me over like us. Somebody asked me the other day if I ever heard your show. I said, fuck no, I've been listening to the fucker for 25 years. Tell me how Conrad puts up with your ass.
Hey,
He just fucking fumbled it. The Vikings got it back. You watching the game?
who fucking watches the Minnesota fucking Vikings? Nobody does.
But we hate the Panthers, man. Holy shit. You know, if he fumbled that.
Okay, all right.
I said, what's going on, guys?
We're just hanging out, talking some shit, talking about.
Are you having a beverage?
We're having Diet Cokes right now.
Oh, brother, Conrad's changed.
Hey,
Drinking the Diet Coke is overrated.
listen, we're not going to keep you long because I know you got to watch those fucking Vikings lose. But
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to you, buddy.
Oh, Merry Christmas to you.
Okay, I love you, buddy.
How's Lois? Everybody good?
Yeah, thank you for bringing up her name. Everybody's great.
No problem. I know I'm
Yeah.
They make me call every motherfucker. Sailors. Fuck that shit.
Oh my God, we're off the rails.
Thanks for picking up your phone today. You just made my day.
If it's Schiavone or Conrad or somebody I know, I'll do it, but fuck, I don't even answer.
All right, buddy.
You guys have a great holiday.
All right, you too. I love it.
I'll see you. Bye, guys.
Bye. I love you.
Well, you know, we just broke our rule. We said we are going to do it on January 1st. You know any other horsemen we can call? We're about halfway through the fucking deal now.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. I did not expect that.
Thanks for staying around for that, guys.
Holy shit.
So we've had Arn on today. We've had Rick on today.
Hey, we know this shit sucks. We're trying to make it entertaining for you. By the way, let's call this the way we know how.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Forearm.
Stomp.
Forearm. 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 Forearm.
Oh, here comes another forearm. Whoa!
Forearm.
Of course, we missed the spot.
One leg up, one leg. Forearm.
Okay.
Forearm. 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 Forearm.
Oh, they both go over. Conrad, they're both in the ring too now.
Bill Kazmaier trying to suplex
No,
or
they're hugging each other.
hug.
I love you, man. We're just hugging each other. They're just hugging each other. Meanwhile, Luger goes down.
How much money would it take for you to hug Abdullah the Butcher?
Can
you get hepatitis from hugs? Let's throw that in our Google machine.
I don't know. They're still hugging each other. Man, they're still hugging each other.
How much heat are we going to get for the comment, do you think?
I don't
You know how many people DM me and say, is this still Rick's number? Like it happens at least once a week. And now I have no plausible deniability. I don't know. Let me check.
Oh, God. You just never know what we're going to do here on What Happened When? And down goes Luger. Now, one man will remain in ring one, and that man will have an opportunity here to rest. How much time is left in this thing anyway?
Not enough.
Oh, God. All right, Luger just completely blown up right now. Oh, watch out. Here we go. Clothesline. Oh, Vader goes over. It's Luger. Luger's in ring one. It's Luger.
Okay. Let me go ahead since we said we would do it.
Okay.
I said, can you get hepatitis from a hug?
Yeah.
Of course, facetiously.
Right.
But I went ahead and threw it in my Google machine, which is what I do.
Yeah.
Here are the suggestions. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Can you get hepatitis from kissing? Can you get hepatitis from sperm? Are you okay? Are you okay? Can you get hepatitis from food? Can you get hepatitis from urine?
Ooh.
And I'm sure Klondike will look this last one up.
Yeah.
Can you get hepatitis from oral? So which one of these would you like for me to hit?
Get it from food.
Okay. We're at for Abdullah.
Abdullah, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Mm-hmm. Hepatitis A is a liver disease caused by the hepatitis A virus. Well, thank you. The disease is spread primarily through food or water contaminated by stool from an infected person. Hepatitis A is one of the few foodborne or waterborne illnesses that can be prevented by vaccination.
Wow, so it is
So
foodborne.
if you ate at Abdullah the Butcher's house of ribs and he didn't wipe his ass after he took a shit before he made your rib tips, you might have hepatitis.
Yeah, I don't. But that's interesting.
Have you been checked?
Yes. Not recently, but I haven't been to Abdullah's in like 7, 8, 9 years. So
you've had a hepatitis check in the last 7, 8, 9 years.
yes. Yeah.
Why are you getting regularly checked out for hepatitis?
Well,
you sharing needles?
isn't it part of your regular checkups? Don't they check for that?
I don't know.
Boy, I want to tell you, this is amazing. We've had Arn, we've had Rick.
The match is still going.
And this is broken down to a J.J. Dillon podcast.
We're doing WebMDs.
That's right.
At this point.
Oh, God.
All right, let's go back to content. Forearm.
All right, so we got Luger.
Forearm.
We got Luger in ring
Forearm.
one. There goes Mr. Hughes and Ron Simmons. Now, as you
Forearm.
can tell, the guys are being told
Forearm.
that we're getting down to the nitty gritty here. You got to get out of here because we got to have.
I love the cable runner is trying to jerk it loose from Hughes, and he's no selling forearm.
Another man goes down
Double
to
forearm.
Out goes Vader. Oh my God!
Hey, the crowd
react.
popped for Vader.
Yeah, I know. The fans react to it. Now this is scary.
So we're down to Steve Austin, Sting, Ricky Steamboat, and Rick Rude.
Yeah.
Now we've made a lot of fun of this show so far. But man, they got these last four right, did they not?
Yes, they did. They absolutely. As a matter of fact, you're going to find out here they're going to get the last two right, really, as far as angles are concerned, storylines. But it took a long time to get here, right? Absolutely, it took a long time to get here. Now you see that Paulie dangerously telling Rick Rude to get up as both members of his dangerous alliance are down. And okay, please.
It looks like he's setting up for the Stinger Splash, but he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Instead, he double reversed the Stinger Splash.
And down goes Austin. And down goes Rude. Oh, God, I hate my life right now. Can you imagine these guys have what they...
Rick was right. We should have been drinking for this one.
We should have been.
When was the last time you consumed alcohol?
Oh, gosh. I can't remember the last time I consumed alcohol. I really can't. I can't remember the last time.
This year?
This year. But I've had a beer, but that's about it.
We did at WrestleMania.
Right.
Yeah, I made you drink something.
Yes, that's right. And that was probably it. Yeah. And I think maybe I had one in Dallas too, didn't I? When we were there in Dallas for the show.
I talked you into like
Right.
half of a no duels or something.
Yeah, that's right. Oh God, would somebody go out here? But I mean, you got guys who can.
Oh my God, what's going on?
knocked
Rick Rude just eliminated Steve Austin. They're both a part of the Dangerous Alliance. What's going on?
Yeah, they're going to send Steamboat out. No, Steamboat is his feet touched. No, Skin the Cat. He's going to take Rude with him. No, he stays in. Rude's out. Steamboat's out. You know what that means, Conrad?
We're down to Sting and Lex Luger are our final two combatants. Who's going to be our BattleBowl champion 1990? Oh my God, Rick Rude has slithered back into the ring and delivered the Rude Awakening to Sting. How can he ever overcome? The way Lex Luger's had several minutes, 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes here to recover, there's no chance that Sting can overcome these odds.
Well, we'll see. Right now, Luger taking his time. Dumbass. He can go over and pin him right now. Steamboat's going to go over to Sting and say, beat the motherfucker. Beat the motherfucker. Here comes Lex Luger. Now, you would think he's had plenty of time now.
I was thinking maybe Steamboat said, do it for Liz.
That's our next show. Okay. All right. Sting and Luger. Luger's still blown up, and he's been resting about 10 minutes. Which ring they're going into? Does anybody know? No one fucking knows. Sting is going to try go up top against Luger. Oh, Luger's got him in the head. Oh, and he pulls him down. Right hand to the jaw. Sting down on all fours. Valiantly trying to get up. Luger sends him down again. Oh, there's no friendship here, Conrad. These two are going at it for the BattleBowl ring. The ring!
And Luger is picking the bones of Sting, who can't even stand.
Yes.
He's exhausted.
Very well said.
After this entire match. And there it is!
Oh, that running Larry by Luger, that's one of the worst in the business. And now he is, whatever.
Mocking Sting's yell.
That's what he's doing.
These Sting fans have put up with enough, but at least 4 of them are on their feet.
Yes.
Either on their way out of the building or to root on Sting.
Absolutely. There you see a girl in the background holding up a rubber chicken for no reason at all. And a pickup by Luger. And he's got him. Is it going to be an atomic drop? Reverse atomic drop. Oh, he got him. I thought Sting was able to come out of it, maybe with a clothesline or something, but Luger is on the attack.
Tony, is the reverse atomic drop the stupidest move in the history of wrestling? It's never hit anyone directly in the dick.
No, but it looks like it. When the announcers put it over, it seems like it can work. There you see a guy in the Stinger hat, Bruce Pritchard on the right.
Who would wear that Sting hat in public on purpose?
My God. I don't know. Sting, this is over, man. There's no way Sting can come back from this. All his face paint is off.
Oh, he's raking his face against the top rope.
All the face paint is off. There's nothing more that Sting can do. He's
the little
down
Stingers are on their feet.
Yes, there. He's Sting back up. Valiantly trying to get it. That's the second time I've used that word. Trying to get up to his feet again, but Luger will have none of it. He's going to keep him down. Keep him down. Come on, Sting. Get up. Yeah, we own a gym together. Main Event Fitness. Get up. I don't give a shit. I'll pull up. My trunk's worried about my look. Don't talk to me, motherfucker. Wrestle. You know what he said to us right there?
Is that what he said?
He said, call it like it's not. Son of a bitch.
What do you mean?
Tell me to do my job.
Call it like it's not.
Yeah, he's accusing us of being biased. Son of a bitch.
Wait, are you being serious right now?
And then he said something to us there about us calling. He was being a heel. Oh, Harley Race. Big time Harley Race and God's green earth. Threw him down.
The biggest bump on the show taken by Harley Race.
Absolutely. Harley's down. Get him back in the ring. Get him back in the ring, says Nick Patrick. And meanwhile, Luger and Sting are battling on he's going, oh my God. Oh, did he hit jaw first? And
that put Ricky Steamboat out of commission just a few years ago. There's no way Sting's going to be able to overcome these odds at this point, especially not in orange boots like that.
Oh my God. Yeah. Down to the particle board, which Luger slowly, methodically walks down the steps. And he's at Sting. Sting hurting. It looks like he may have hit the elbow, maybe hit the funny bone. As you can see, the security guys really doing their job. Run him into the baby! Run him into the baby! Move that kid, dumbass! Move your baby! Move the kid!
Put the baby up there in front of you. Protect yourself.
Jesus. Oh, that kid right now is probably, well, that kid's in his 20s now.
Those babies' bones are soft. They'll absorb the blows.
What the fuck? Oh, I'm glad it wasn't my dad. Jeez. Oh, Lordy. He's just laughing while those two guys are fighting near him. Anyway, back to the point of attack. Fans are getting into this. You know why? Sting's mounting a comeback. Don't hit Diane Keith. Watch out. Don't hit the announcers as Sting's coming back. Fans are firing up. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, Conrad?
I feel it, Tony. It feels like Sting's making the comeback. Can he do it?
Kick him in the nuts. Kick him in the nuts. Yeah, baby.
The dick, yeah. Get him in the dick.
Kick him in the nuts.
There's Lois's twin.
Yes, Eric. Yes. He has a little bit, few more teeth than Lois do. And down, face first. Rub him in the face. Yeah, you motherfucker.
I don't know what that was.
You think you got
someone in the goddamn match? We're tired. We're ready to go home. Let's beat the fucking traffic. Come on.
Oh, God. They're still going at it. He's got him up. Oh, the lady, look at that girl. She's standing up. Please end it right now. The guy with the rubber chicken. Spinning it. Look, I got the rubber chicken. Oh,
I didn't know crystal meth existed in 91.
Neither did I. But I got that rubber chicken. Oh, yes. Come on, Sting. God, that guy is like freaking out and here comes Harley Race into God's green earth. Out he goes. Yes. And Luger cannot get away. Oh, then the fans are going wild. Thank God they've had something to cheer for. It's been only 3 hours, but they got something to cheer for finally.
At this point in the night, Michael P.S. Hayes is on his second bottle of Jack.
He missed it. Oh, you know what that means? The match is going to go 5 minutes longer. Oh, I thought they'd ended it right there. Luger's down, Sting's tied up, and the fans are wondering, oh, God, how long have we been around?
Why are Sting's legs frozen?
Maybe the extension of the Stinger splash, and I don't know, maybe he's got cramps. I don't know. Maybe he hadn't had enough water. Salt tablets could come in. There you see down in the ringside area, Bruce Pritchard has not moved. Neither has one-man gang with the suspenders. He's not moved at all. He may be dead, as a matter of fact. And Luger now is going to go. Luger's going to end it. Lex, please end it right now. There's it. That's over. Oh, God, Sting held on. Sting held on.
Luger thinks he's winning. He's not paying attention.
Yes, this is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, God. Down he goes. No, he's still standing up. And now down he goes. I was one spot ahead. The fans are going crazy. Yes. They all got the Luger.
They got Lex Luger shirts on. They're cheering.
And they're cheering Luger going down. Harley Race grabbing Sting. And that's it. This has got to go. Get up. Get the fuck out. It's over. Jesus, thank God. Sting wins. See you next week.
Right, your winner
is Sting.
Can you believe this fucking show?
Oh, God. Well, Conrad, we did all we could do with this one, didn't we?
I mean, we called Arn Anderson. Well, he called us. And then we called Ric Flair.
Thanks to Arn. Thanks to Rick for being with us. Hope you don't mind just being a small snippet on our podcast here. Sting is your winner, and Sting wins BattleBowl. Now, we're going to present him with the ring. Oh, we ain't got the ring. We forgot it.
Is this real?
Yeah.
You were supposed to present a ring, but you forgot it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay. We love Sting. Fans, though, I think they enjoyed the end of that, don't you?
Yeah,
it
took a long way through 3 hours to get there.
Exactly. It was very good at the end, but you're right. They had this, and Sting doing a great job of calling out to the fans.
This is your Hogan must pose moment with Sting. Isn't
it? Exactly.
And now he's like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Oh, man. Well, Harley Race. Yeah.
Kenny Powers is holding them at bay. I'd like to announce, too, Harley Race, who we see here, and this is fitting for Christmas time. He's actually wrestling's version of Benjamin Button. No, I'm being serious. About 10 years ago, he starred in a movie called Bad Santa. And by that point, the Benjamin Buttonism had advanced to the point to where Harley looked like a small child, even though he was really about 75 years old. So you could see Harley Race as a 75-year-old child star in the movie Bad Santa as a young boy, where he offers Billy Bob some sandwiches. Do you recall this?
Yes, I do.
It's kind of ironic because he was a bit of a bully as a youngster, and then in Bad Santa, he had to portray a child who was a victim of bullying. So it just goes to show you, kids, be careful you're bullying. You might be picking on Benjamin Button Harley Race.
Who in the world? What in the world? Why are we filling time here? Not us.
Well, I think right
TV.
now you're saying doodoo-trucking.com was our sponsor today, and you should definitely check out doodoo-trucking.com, lowestrules.com, and be sure most of all to support our friends over at SeatGeek and download the SeatGeek app for free. You'll get $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. All you've got to do is download the app for free and use our promo code What Happened. That's What Happened, and you get $20 off, right, JR?
That's exactly right. And don't forget to buy my barbecue sauce, Tony. We'll see you at the Rose Bowl in 2017. I'm from Oklahoma, and you're for Georgia.
This is the fucking worst podcast we've ever done. But that's who's to blame. Virgil Runnels, Jim Hurd, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, Keith Mitchell, David Crockett, Craig Leathers, Stan Bonham, Rick Fancher,
Rick Wallace, C.W. Reynolds, Timmy Jones, Dave McCollum, Trish Reagan, Pat Dixon, Tim Dean, and all the folks.
Jackie Crockett.
That's there, buddy. Phil Tinsley and Neil Pruitt. Jane Frostrom. Oh, geez.
You know, the best part of this entire look, there was a Mongo back in the day who was your production runner.
Okay.
Did he do cocaine too?
No.
Best part of the whole show to you today?
The end.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I don't mean the end of the actual pay-per-view. I mean that we get to stop now.
Yeah. Well, what do we got next week, Conrad?
Well, we're doing Starrcade 1999.
Oh, we're going to flash forward 8 years to
the murder of Bret Hart.
Whew.
And then we're going to go the following week after that, December 22nd, 1997 Nitro. We haven't done a whole Nitro since the August 97. I'm looking forward to us covering a whole Nitro, and that'll be pretty fun. We've only done that a handful of times. We did it with the first Nitro. We did it with the last one. We did it from when Hogan lost the belt to Luger in August 97. And now we're going to do the go-home show for Starrcade 97. And, of course, we're on our way to the 20th anniversary of Starrcade 97.
Woo.
Woo, indeed. Thanks for tuning in. I am at Hey, it's Conrad. He is at Tony Schiavone, and or he is at Tony Schiavone 24. And it feels like we are out of time. This is the part where you do your deal. You know?
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
All right. The last two men left in the ring for BattleBowl. In ring number 1 is Conrad Thompson, and ring number 2 is Dave Silva. Between the two rings is a Christmas turkey. And as we know, both men are as full of shit as a Christmas turkey. Now they both will try to vie for the Christmas turkey. They both dive in the center of the ring. They both reach out a turkey leg and stick it up each other's ass. And now they're gnawing on each side of the breast. And we're out of time. Stay in next week on What Happened When?